with these cheese boogers. Bang. We are live. And yes, since we didn't go live on Thursday and since Wednesday's patchwork deal show was kind of shit, I decided I've got a couple hours tonight, maybe even 3 hours, who knows? So I figured we'll just go live and try to make it a good one tonight. Now, we used to go live every Friday night, and we got a lot more views. It was a really popular night for us to really get out there and connect with the audience. So hopefully tonight we get a lot of views as well. I should have shared it on my main channel, but most of you guys are subscribed to this channel now anyways, so we should be good to go. Anyways, shout out to the chat. Shout out to Marlon White in the house. Shout out to Jeff Thornburg. Shout out to R. Gratz. What is good, my gents? And yes, I had a good Thanksgiving. Farouk in the house. Good to have you guys here. It's always hard to tell who's going to show up on a Friday night. You know, some people like to go out and party on Friday nights. Others, you know, like myself, I would prefer staying home. So that's what I'm doing. And if you'd prefer staying home and watching LFA live, then we'll be glad to have you. We got to make some room for some people into the chat. When you get here, be sure to leave a comment. Let us know you're here. Let yourself be known. The one is here. I used to like going out on Friday nights, but you know, it's the same old shit. The same old fucking shit. I could get in my car and I could go to downtown Tulsa, all the bars and nightclubs, dance with some girls, drink some shots, woohoo, maybe take one home and have sex with her. But here's the thing. I've done that hundreds of times in my life, and it's no longer fun to me. So what's the point? Marlon White, you say you have no life, but I say you have a life. Shame on all of those losers with no life who have to make up for the fact that they have no life by going out and drinking and getting drunk and partying. But if that's your thing, if that's what you want to do, more power to you. I'm not going to hate on you for it. Farouk says he's outgrowing that shit, and I have too. While we're waiting for some people to show up in the chat, feel free to ask a question, type Q before your question, or put it in a super chat. Either way, I will do my best to read it, and that's what we'll do. And then we'll spend some time reacting to a couple of videos. We're going to find out what it's like for a woman on birth control. Rumor has it, when a woman's on birth control, the beta fucks and the alpha cucks. So we'll find out about that. And then we're also going to find out, we're going to react to a female's video about true kings practicing semen retention. Might be an interesting video. Guess we'll find out. R. Gratz in the house. Slee in the house. All right. Looks like we've got quite a few people here, and we're doing pretty good. So we'll start out. The first video won't be the most popular video, but while we're waiting for some people to show up in the chat, we'll just start out with something, you know, kind of mildly entertaining. LFA, man, I've been watching you for 2 months now, and thanks to you, I'm slowly getting out of my hookup chapter. Well, that's cool. Some people watch me to get into their hookup chapter, and some people watch me to get out of their hookup chapter. So either way, I'm glad I'm helping you through whatever stage of your life that you're in. Q, do you believe in long distance relationships? Are they worth a try? Well, sir, if you're perfectly fine, if you're perfectly okay with being in a relationship where she talks to other men and you talk to other women, and you just happen to bump into each other occasionally when you happen to be in town or she happens to be in town and you get together for some fun, then sure, go for it. But if you want a emotional connection and a monogamous, healthy relationship, long distance will not work, never has, never will. So that's what you got to think about that. Now, we will get started by reacting to this girl here. And the video is True Kings Practice Semen Retention. This is important, a woman's perspective. And here's what she has to say.
I want to welcome back the Kings. Yes, I said it, okay? If you're on this path.
The Kings.
Have you been smoking marijuana?
Yeah, I said it. The Kings. Welcome back, the Kings. What type of dudes do you think she likes? Oh, easy guess, huh? Easy guess.
Okay, the semen retention. I'm keeping y'all to that standard of Kings, okay? I'm not gonna label you anything different because it is my responsibility now that I'm making these videos, because they are so important to keep you guys on track and to speak some life into you, because it's important, okay? You're not alone, and this is why Spirit has really been guiding me to make these videos. We need to build a community for men and women to feel safe being.
What do you think, Kangs? All the Kangs out there in the chat, do you feel safe? Do you Kangs feel safe out there? Do you feel like finally there's a community that we can run to and feel safe as men, as Kangs on this journey?
Who they are, to talk about real stuff, even if it's hard, and show each other that there is good people out there that care about you, even if it's
fuck yeah,
it's from a distance, okay? So I want to roll right now with these videos, y'all. And listen, I don't make these videos like to be a pick-me girl or to get guys' attention. I'm literally just following my guidance. Like, I don't.
No, you're doing it to make money off of, because semen retention gets a lot of views, especially when you're a halfway decent looking chick. But she should at least be honest about it. Like, if I were, let's face it, she's a pretty good looking girl. So if I were her and I were making semen retention videos, I would just be super vulgar and sexual, and it would be like softcore porn, and it would get like millions of views instead of like, listen, Kangs, this is a safe place where you can go and practice semen retention. Because most of the dudes watching her video are probably perverts that are losing their load while they're watching her. Let's be honest.
Plan my videos out. It's just whatever wants to come through. And obviously, men are needing some encouragement. Men are needing to have a mirror through a woman's eyes, that there are still women that actually care about you, that actually.
And by the way, if the author of this video happens to come across my reaction here, we're not hating on you. We're just reacting. We're just having a good time. And the chat will roast you because that's what they do. But it's part of being a content creator. We have a good time.
Want better for you, that actually see you for your soul and not just what you can provide them or material gains. This is why I talk about this with y'all, okay?
If you want to be with a woman that wants to be with you for you and not just what you can provide them for material gains.
And I'm going to continue my conversation with semen retention, and I'm going to see what comes through today, okay? But first, I'm going to have a sip of my tea, okay? Because that's what I want to start with, actually. So it's on brand. And
you go, girl.
And third eye, y'all. This is a byproduct of practicing semen retention. Your third eye awakens.
Yo, third eye, Kangs. Yo, third eye is fully open. Now, y'all, I'm going to start out proper with my tea.
And you get to see past some illusions. So cheers. I want to start today's video off, you guys, because this is for the men, okay? And ladies, I know if you are here, trust me, I love y'all, and I'm proud of you guys too if you're restraining yourself or just practicing being okay in your own energy and not having to give it away. And what is the energetics behind giving it away? So in today's video, I want to talk more so about your own sexual energy, your own creation. Sexual energy is interlinked with creative energy. I want to be very, very clear upon that. That is truth. You being a human being, you are formed, you are a human being out of sexual energy, but also creator energy. Creator energy. So you are creation itself. So we got to be really aware of what we are creating if we feel the urge to have sexual relationships. Sexual relationships, especially if they're not coming from a place of a heart-centered place of respect for one another, actually healthy energetics of pure love, the after effect of that sexual relationship, that one night stand, is going to be leaving you interlinked with that person's energy. It's actually a transference. So when you are inside of a woman, when a woman allows you inside of her, now we don't get taught these things, we don't get taught these things as a child. So I don't blame you guys for not understanding what sex really is, because especially nowadays, they don't want us to know what the depth of sex is. They just want to feed us with OnlyFans, porn, freaking anything that revolves around the over-sexualization of the woman's body, because it makes women weak and it makes men weak. But back to my point.
I mean, that is true. I'm not sure if she knows why she's saying what she's saying, but that was actually true.
Of sexual ties. You guys, there's so much that we actually can't see, that the eyes cannot pick up and perceive. But it's very true.
By the way, Farouk, do you watch Alpha Male Lifestyle on mgtow.tv, which I think he created that website?
After you have a sexual experience with someone that you actually don't love, but you're doing it out of a place of, well, you tell me, what is the place you are coming from when you have one night stands? I know it's not love. You don't even know the person you're sleeping with. You don't even know what trauma they hold in their body that is transferring onto you. That's making your channel for spirit, for source, for your higher self, clogged with other people's energies that are probably not clean. We got dirty pipes. We got dirty pipes.
Dirty? The irony. Girl, you got to clean those dirty pipes. That's been the problem with American women for 35 years. Dirty ass pipes.
That are keeping us from experiencing pure crystalline water to drink and to hydrate with.
That clean, those clean juices, the clean juice from a woman's body when the pipes are not dirty, when the pipes haven't been clogged up like a dirty sperm sock.
I don't know about y'all, but you want some clean water. You want some...
Fellas, salute to this woman. You want some clean water. On that note, I think I'll crack open a beer, actually. Salute to you guys. Tonight, we're back with the Pacifico.
Clean water to drink. But we got to clean the pipes. Okay? So back to my point, men and women, if you're here, I really want you guys to question the why you feel the need to constantly have women in your life that you don't value. Because if you really did value a woman, you wouldn't even want to sleep with her the first night. You wouldn't want to sleep with her the second night. You would
I want a woman with the clean juices.
Want to first know who she is, what you're getting yourself involved with, tied to. A lot of people are walking around with sexual ties from the past, energy cords. Now, this is really real stuff, you guys. It is. So sometimes you can be walking around with other people's thoughts because you've actually transferred a lot of your own creative energy, especially if you, you know, are not safe when you practice sex. You're transferring your creation, your seed into a woman. And then that woman's walking around with you in her, and maybe you're not healthy.
That oh man, what type of men is she sleeping with, and what has she caught?
Have you been smoking marijuana?
You've been walking around with a man's seed in you, and you are not healthy.
Then it makes our minds really weak, really fogged.
Makes it weak and fogged. You know, sometimes when you turn the camera on, like it's really easy to talk before you turn the camera on, but as soon as you hit record, it becomes a little bit hard to come up with things to say. So I understand that look in her face. She's thinking, she's trying to make the video. She had a lot of interesting things to say, but then she turned it on. Now she's kind of freaking out. So it happens. So you know what? We will go ahead and leave that one behind, but thanks for that video. And that was a great reaction and great insight. Kangs, you finally have a safe space with good, clean pipes and Aquafina. You know, you got that nice, moist Aquafina with the clean pipes. Go over and subscribe to her channel. All right. Fellas, we'll be back with another video right after these messages.
Vigo Tires and Jack in the Box present the Metro PCS Monster Challenge. Presented by Advanced Auto Parts and Ford Trucks. Jigs and slip-on seats are still just $10 to see the Fun Day. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. World Champion Breed here. And for the first time ever, witness World Champ Tom Metz driving maximum destruction. Plus, stop by Jack in the Box to pick up your Fan 4-pack voucher and save $20 on 4 tickets to Monster Challenge. Brought to you by 1-800-THE-LAW 2. January 10th. Angel Stadium.
If love is your question, Psychic Talk has your answer.
Congratulations. You recently got engaged?
Wow. I just got engaged 2 weeks ago.
Well, you better hope she doesn't find out that you spent last Sunday night with your old girlfriend.
Oh, hello? He hung up. I guess you really ran him. Does your boyfriend know you have another guy and you're getting ready to dump him?
He has no clue. I can hardly believe you know it.
Well, you better be careful, honey.
Why?
I see that you could be the one getting dumped.
By which guy?
Both.
You've been fooling around on your boyfriend.
Well, yeah, I have.
And now you don't know which guy you want.
Right. I want them both.
Well, I'm going to make your choice a lot easier. The guy you're cheating with is married.
He's married.
We all have questions about love. Why not get the answers you need right now with a free psychic reading?
Call 1-800-799-5064.
Bang. All right, we are back. All right, guys, now we have a little bit of a more important video to react to. Why is it so bright? And my camera came in nice and bright. Now we have a more important video to react to. A little bit on a serious note. You know, back in the late 70s and late 1980s, and 90s also, even up until today, but really heavy in the late 70s and the 1980s and 90s, they were pushing birth control like a motherfucker. So ladies out there, by the hundreds of thousands, by the millions, were out there taking these birth control pills. And they would take them for all sorts of different reasons. It would fix issues they were having with their periods. and it would, obviously help them not get pregnant so they could have unprotected sex with whoever they wanted to, whenever they wanted to. And they just felt like they could just party with anybody and, hook up with everybody. It was something that massively contributed to hookup culture. But a lot of people don't realize when women take birth control, the type of men that they're attracted to changes drastically. So the normal, the manosphere, the red pill likes to say the alpha fucks the beta bucks. So women like to hook up with the hot giga chad, rough and tough alpha males. They like to fuck those guys. And then they like to settle down with, the weak, financially secure, sweetheart beta males. But when a woman takes birth control, she becomes sexually attracted to the beta males and she begins to hate the alpha males. But then when she gets off of it, it switches back over. So when a woman enters a relationship, when she's on birth control, the guy that she's with, she might be attracted to one guy when she's on birth control, but when she gets off, she may be repulsed by him. So we're going to watch a female reacting to her experiences on birth control here. Let's pull this up.
Hello, so this is going to be a quick PSA about birth control and how it can completely change what you're attracted to, who you like, how you feel about things, just like everything about you, because that's what I experienced. So I wish somebody had told me that this could happen because this was very unknown to me. So I've been on birth control since I was like 14 or 15 because I was always hemorrhaging. I had like really horrible periods. And birth control was the only thing that helped it. So I'm 27 now. So that was like 13 years, 12, 13 years ago that I was on birth control, which is insane when you think about it because it's my entire adult life. And I can honestly say, since I've been off of it, I know now who I am and I understand myself better and I feel more comfortable with myself. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. My whole adult life, I've struggled with anxiety and depression and all of that jazz. Turns out I did have a thyroid condition, so a lot of that was attributed to that. And there was a very low point in 2018 that I was like super, super depressed. And I hadn't dated in like 3 years because my previous boyfriend got arrested, cheated on me, was emotionally abusive.
So basically he was a Chad. So her previous boyfriend was an alpha male. He was emotionally abusive. He cheated on her. He got arrested all the time. Maybe she didn't describe what he looks like, but I'm guessing he was tall, muscular, masculine man, probably had a huge cock, and he was just this rough and tough alpha male. And that's what she was into. That's the type of man that she was physically attracted to.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's who she wanted to be with.
And I was kind of scared of men for a really long time. So when I was super depressed in 2018, everybody was like, you should just start dating again. Like maybe that'll just help you, be a little bit happier. You'll get out more. You'll meet new people. You'll be more social. So I just wouldn't leave my apartment. And I wasn't one for dating apps or anything like that. So I had recently started rock climbing at the time to force myself to get out of the house because I was in such a depression.
Have you been smoking marijuana?
And my friends were like, you need to meet someone. Just ask someone on a date. So I was like, okay, let me just what do I have to lose? So I go to the climbing gym one day and I see somebody. I literally looked around the room and I was like, let me pick somebody that I've talked to already that seems nice, probably wouldn't be a serial killer, and just ask them for their phone number. So that's what I did. And I literally went up to this one guy. I was like, hey, I'm looking to make a group of people to go outdoor climbing with. If you would like to come, you can give me your phone number.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Look like a serial killer. I'm pretty sure I actually said that to him. So, if you want to join us, let me know. And he gave me his phone number, completely oblivious to the fact that I was just trying to get him to go on a date with me. We started dating and it was pretty great. It definitely helped my depression because I was distracted.
So she was on birth control and she got tired of the alpha male. The guy that gets arrested is emotionally abusive, has a huge cock, is tall, is buff, is handsome, and cheats on her and whatever. And Now she decided to get with a beta male, so she cold approached, and you know that he's a beta male because she approached him. An alpha male approaches who he wants to fuck, and he fucks her. A beta male is just kind of minding his own business, and here comes this girl. So she swapped out the alpha for a beta when she was on birth control.
From it, he was very different than me. Like, we were completely different people. I'm very, like, all over the place, unorganized. I'm a creative, so like I'm a mess all the time. And he is an academic. He has his PhD. He runs on schedules, and he's really organized, which is like what I needed in my life because
pure beta. He's got all the beta male traits. Good job, very organized, schedules his life. Everything is on point. She hasn't described the way either one of these guys look like, but you can tell that the first guy was that tough jock, rough and tough alpha, and this guy is the beta.
because I was so messed up, I guess. I was just excited that I had met somebody who was genuinely nice, that didn't seem like they were going to destroy my heart. And he didn't want kids, which is a huge thing to me because I am not interested in having children of my own. So we had our differences. We were very different people, but we worked together to try to make this work. And I would say we had a pretty good relationship. Like, it was not perfect by any means. There were a lot of times where we would argue and fight about things, but we were never like really bad to each other. And that to me was amazing because my previous relationship was so horrible with the cheating, lying, the getting arrested. It was just really refreshing to meet somebody like this. I think like 8 months into it, we actually moved in together, and we were talking about marriage and stuff. And I was like telling my mom, I was like, okay, like, he's not perfect, but he's really great. He's a really nice person. So like, this is probably it, just so you know. And she was so excited. She's like, he's got a PhD. And I was like, that means absolutely nothing. But so our entire relationship was about a year and a half. Not even, no, it was like a year and maybe like 2 or 3 months. And so I had still been dealing with quite a bit because, my thyroid was still messed up. I was like on different levels of medication all the time. So I was still in this depression. I was, still trying to get out of it. But he was like really, really trying to like, push me to make me feel better. He encouraged me to take a job that I definitely didn't want to take because it was not the right company for me. And I took this all as support. But now that I think about it now, like, he was definitely trying to change me. He wanted me to be more like him, where he's like on a schedule, he's on time all the time, he's, organized. And I think he really wanted that for me because he thought
he's like a real adult. He's like a real boy. And she wants to be not like a real adult, which is fine. Everybody has their preferences in life, I suppose. But he was trying to hold her accountable and make her a responsible girl.
that that's what would make me feel better. But I figure that that's just how relationships go. Like, you sacrifice to make things work. And like, we were really trying to make things work. So my medication wasn't really working. And I had been on birth control for so long. And I was like, maybe the hormones are affecting my medication. So I really just want to stop birth control and see if that would help. So I decided to go off of birth control and just like cold turkey, cut it out of my life. And within a week, I could not stand my boyfriend.
Oh. Imagine this, guys. Imagine this. You meet a woman. You're out taking a hike or wherever it is. And this woman approaches you. She seems really cool, really chill. She asks you out on a date. You go with her. You end up, really hitting it off and having a really solid relationship. And 2 years into the relationship, she decides to stop taking a medication. And when she stops taking that medication, all of her attraction to you disappears. So the only thing that made you attractive to her was the fact that she was on a medication.
Have you been smoking marijuana?
They were pushing that shit on us really heavy in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and how many relationships and how many love lives and how many future marriages and families do you think got fucked up and destroyed because of it? I mean, you got to think about it. If a medication that women take and it just tells them, hey, you know, it'll make your period go away when you're on it, or, you know, whatever. So they take it thinking, oh, great, it's just something that's going to make me feel better. It's going to make me not get pregnant when I'm in college or whatever. So they take this shit, and this is the results that you get. And look at her. Look at how, and no disrespect to this girl. If the author of this video happens to watch this reaction, no disrespect to you. It's awesome that you made a video that was educational and you're teaching people about your experience. That's great, because people need to learn this shit. But clearly you have put yourself in a position where you are damaged because of this. You know, this medication caused you to make irrational decisions, and now you are damaged, and you're on YouTube trauma dumping your damage. I mean, that's a fact. And it's good that you are, so other people can learn from it. But still, I mean, let's be real.
And this sounds so horrible, but it was like a switch just flipped in my brain, and everything that I thought I liked about him, I hated. I wasn't attracted to anything about, not him just physically, but like who he was. Like, I couldn't stand that he was an academic. I couldn't stand that he was on a schedule. Like, everything really bothered me. And it just blew.
Imagine one day, like, have you ever seen the movie The Vow with, what's that guy? Not Ryan Gosling, Channing Tatum. Have you ever seen The Vow with Channing Tatum and that cute little ginger chick? I forget her name. Anyways, they're in love with each other, and they have a car accident, and she has a concussion, and she can't remember him. So she doesn't know who he is, and she goes back with her ex-boyfriend. So that's sort of what happens on birth control. So a woman will be madly in love with you, or a woman will have a boyfriend when she's on birth control and be madly in love with him. And then as soon as she gets off of it, she no longer has any attraction to him at all. She no longer has any feelings for him at all. She's now repulsed by that guy. That is fucked.
My mind how much I could change in a week. And I was like, oh, well, maybe my hormones just need to balance out. But no, like, that's who I am. Like, I'm not attracted to that. And birth control made me attracted to that because it raises your estrogen levels rather than your testosterone. And like, I generally just have higher testosterone levels, which make you.
Yeah. So when girls have really high estrogen, they're more on the emotional side. So she might be more attracted to a beta male. Whereas when she has higher testosterone, she wants some thug dick. You know, she wants to fuck the bad boy, the alpha male. And that's natural for women to want to be that way, right? It's natural for them to be attracted to physically dominant, strong men with aggressive personalities as well, dominant men. And it's also, you know, normal for them to pursue a man who's a good provider and all that. But, you know, birth control just kind of throws that whole deal off.
More attracted to more like masculine, muscly people, I guess. And he was quite the opposite of that. So it was like overnight, I woke up, I was like, who am I sleeping next to? And I felt really horrible about it because that was not fair to him at all whatsoever. And he's like a genuinely great guy. Like, he's, you know, killing it for himself. He deserves so much more than what I put him through. But it wasn't me anymore. I didn't feel like me. And I didn't feel like I knew who I was because I just felt like a completely different person. But other than it destroying my relationship, going off birth control made me so happy. I stopped having brain fog, which I didn't even realize I had. I wasn't depressed anymore. I didn't feel like I had this rainy cloud above me. I felt more creative and motivated and inspired. And I wanted to like leave the house more often. It was just like a complete 180. And unfortunately, it really affected my relationship because obviously I didn't want to be with him anymore. Aside from not being into him anymore, I also had a small crush on one of our other friends the entire time we were in a relationship, which I completely suppressed.
Small crush on another guy while she was with this guy. How much you want to bet the guy she had the small crush on was the bad boy with the muscles that gets arrested, is abusive, the alpha male.
Because I was comfortable being in the relationship I was in. But as soon as like that switch flipped, I was like, no, like I'm really attracted to this other guy and I'm really unhappy in my relationship. So, but what I'm trying to say is that it's really important, especially if you've been on birth control for so long that you haven't known your partner off of birth control and you plan on getting married, please go off birth control before you get married. Because now, like after doing research, there are so many women who have been in birth control the whole time they've been with their current partners. They get married and then they go off birth control to have babies and they can't stand their partner. It like really changes what you're attracted to. It changed so much about me, like what turns me on, what like makes me like happy, like what I think is romantic, what I think is like annoying, what bothers me, like everything. It changed so much about me. And at 27, I can finally say I'm comfortable and I'm confident and I know who I am now. And I have never had that feeling before. So while I don't regret being on birth control because I definitely needed it, and a lot of women do need it, there are so many other options now, even like hormone-free IUDs, just like there's just so many things you can do instead of birth control. And if you don't need to be on it, if you feel like you're not your best self, then maybe try going off of it and just see how you feel for a little while. It did make my face break out horribly and I had some like weight issues afterwards, but after your hormones start to balance out, then you'll feel better than ever, unless you have like PCOS and you're getting like cysts on your ovaries and you're dying of pain. But if you have the option to go off,
Yeah, just a minor little side effect there. No, yeah, you're just having like cysts on your ovaries or cancer or something. No biggie.
birth control, I really recommend you try it because there's just so many of my friends that have said they feel like a different person and they feel like they don't have a cloud over their head. They don't feel like they're mind controlled anymore, because that's actually how I felt. So I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's really important. And I think all women should have the correct knowledge to do what they choose. And I hope this helps even just one person. So thanks for listening to me ramble. Okay, see you, bye.
Good stuff right there. Interesting video. All of you guys out there, never date a girl on birth control. If you have a girlfriend that wants to start taking birth control, talk her out of it. Stay away from it. You know, it's not something that, not a very smart decision. Anyways, I'd like to thank that girl for that video. That was very informative. Beautiful life in the house. Argrats, at what point did you know helping others was your calling? Well, let me put it like this. You know, there's different types of people in this world, right? There are some people who are naturally negative. They are drainers of other people. And I learned this, the first time I really became aware of this was when I was in my, I guess it was a long time ago. This is several years ago, many years ago. I was working a sales job at Sears. I was selling appliances at Sears. And so one of the guys on the team was a massive sociopath. Like he had very, like he had mental issues. He just didn't care. He had like no empathy for other people. He just couldn't understand what was going on with other people. And he was just all about himself, making as much money as possible, stealing other people's sales, not caring about the customers he was selling things to. And that's just the type of person that he was. Whereas on the other hand, I was somebody that cared for the customers. Like I wanted them to get the best possible appliance for them. And I wanted to make sure that they didn't spend too much, that they spent the right amount that they should spend, and they got the exact one they needed and all that. And I never stole my coworkers' sales. You know, if somebody came in and the sale was supposed to be for somebody else, I would let them have it. I was honest with integrity. And this other guy, even though he was getting all these sales, people would come in and they would want refunds. They would come in bitching because he lied to them during the sale. And it was, you know, all of this craziness. My customers would I would sell them a refrigerator and they would hug it. They would be so happy that they bought it. Like, it would feel like it mattered. You know, it's kind of like, I have two wallets. One was bought for me by a whore that I didn't really care that much about. And the other was bought by my mom. And the whore bought me a $400 wallet, and my mom bought me like a $40 wallet. And the one from my mom, I love 10 times more than the one that the whore bought me. You know, it's just because it matters more, because it was like, it was thoughtful and there was something involved in it. And I think those are two different personalities that people have. Some people just have like no moral integrity or no care for the rest of the world. And other people, they genuinely care about the rest of the world. You know, just the way it is. Shout out to the chat. All right. Let's pull up another video. Title of this video is Cuck Cope.
I will never understand you.
Every relationship is different.
Well, obviously.
I think you guys need to grow up. Modern relationships are based on something else.
On degeneracy?
No, on self-discovery.
So, have you discovered yourself? Because, so far, it seems like she's the only one benefiting from this.
Others seem to have discovered what it's she like down there.
For me, it doesn't matter. What matters is that after so many dates, she realized that we are destined for each other.
Maybe you should at least date someone else, so it would be fair.
Have you seen what he got matched with? Horrifying.
Yeah, maybe you are right.
If you are supposed to date women of that caliber, then maybe it's better not to date anyone.
Thanks for the compliment.
No problem.
Son, look, do you see this?
Yes, Dad.
That's what a failure of a man looks like.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
A man and a father. Keep in mind, my child, that an individual who embraces a cuckold lifestyle resembles a metaphorical contagion, propagating a deviant behavior pattern that attempts to delude society into believing that all is well, when in reality, it's caused by unusual addictions and a deficiency of ethical principles.
Ouch.
I couldn't have put it better myself.
I know, Pa.
Be a man, son, not a cock.
Okay, Dad.
How do they know that?
You can see it right away.
I could have told him to mind his own business instead of criticizing others.
Yeah, that would be a great idea.
Did you see him? The guy was like 3 meters tall. He looked like a giant bear.
He could break you with one arm.
You could always tell him that if he doesn't touch you, you will arrange a meeting with him and your woman.
Where are you going?
To James's house.
Do you have to?
Silly, of course I do.
I thought this episode was over.
It's just a single night. At the end of the day, I'm with you.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Can I go with you?
What? Do you want to watch?
No. I'd rather make sure everything.
Is his girlfriend Asian? You know, I understand these videos are just supposed to be funny, but who finds these videos relatable? Like, I want to know, because these videos get really popular, and usually for video to be popular, people have to relate to them. But I just don't understand who would find them relatable.
Everything is okay.
But then again, I do go on dating apps a lot, and I see a lot of women in open relationships. And just for the sake of entertainment, just because I'm a fucking YouTuber and I need to have these experiences just to gain insight on what the world is like. I will entertain women who are in these open relationships and looking to hook up on the side. And, they're usually entertaining, to say the least. There was one girl, this was actually like last time I was on a dating app, like a few months back. And she was very into getting to know me and wanted to, like, she was all excited about hooking up. And then she's like, hey, I asked my husband and he said he wasn't down with me hooking up with you. So like her husband didn't want her to fuck me. Like he chickened out at the last minute, but they had like an open relationship. I wasn't going to do it anyways, but I was just kind of like, I would have ended up flaking out, but it's just interesting that people are in those deals. I wonder what type of guy he would let her fuck.
Hey,
Steven, don't be afraid. Everything will be fine.
I hope so.
Oh, you're the real deal. If I preferred him, I would have left you by now, and yet, I always come back to you.
That's also true.
And Jeremy, you say 1 girl, 4 dudes. Who gets the most play? Do they get any play at all? I would say the dudes get the most play because I think it's like I think dudes like that have like a weird fantasy of dominating a chick. And the fact that she's getting like fucked and shamed and slapped with cocks and all kinds of shit like that. I think some guys just find that like that's a kink that they have. So like gang banging some chick is like this like dominant thing for them to do. But I don't know about you guys. I mean, I don't have any male friends in the world that I'm down to slap nuts with. None of them. Not a single one of them. Our nuts will not slap. And I'm standing on that.
You must feel like a real man now,
yeah.
knowing that others can't steal me from you. All right, I'm going. Will you help me with my bags? I've taken a few things.
For a one night?
Yep.
See you tomorrow, I guess.
Did you let her go?
What was I supposed to do? Put a gun to her head?
So, you're telling me she's with him now, after all this episode, which is very, very disturbing, while you're sitting here with us and cope.
I feel like throwing up.
Then throw up.
Go to the bathroom. If you vomit here, you'll pick it up with your own hands.
I don't cope. After all, she comes back to me every day.
I can't fathom that it doesn't bother you that while you're sitting at home, she's with some Chad.
With James.
Doesn't matter his name. The only thing that matters is that it's not you.
What if she's thinking about me?
Do you hear this guy?
I hear him, and I can't believe it.
If I were you, I would be on my way to where she is now unless you don't know where she went.
I know.
Then, go there. Kick down the door and say, what can he say?
Hands up.
No, tell her it's over, and she should take her things and leave.
She already did. But it doesn't bother me.
You guys are messed up.
When you think about it, what's the big deal? Just think about it for a moment. Before we met, she was with other men too. So what does it matter if she is with someone right now or if she was back then?
I guess she went back to her old ways.
You know what?
Isn't that the cope? That's like the Adam 22 cope and all of these, and Destiny too, which I don't know what Destiny's deal is. I don't even know if his girlfriend fucks other dudes. Like I have no idea. I've never seen any evidence of that, but it's like in 2023, like early 2023, the whole cuck thing was going crazy, right? There were so many like cool, popular alpha males that were like cucks. And, hold on. I think we have one of them. This was like the big time cuck, like, but then there was plenty of others, right? And like the cuck thing got really popular. But then they always cope like, well, your girlfriend fucked other dudes before she met you, or like, and if you break up, she'll fuck other people. So what makes a difference if, when we're not hanging out, that they're fucking other people? And it's just this fucking massive cope. Like what kind of a fucking moron? When women fuck, they experience emotions with the man that they're fucking. Oxytocin is released and whatever the fuck the other thing's called, I can never remember. And they develop attachments to dudes they're fucking. And some dating coaches will tell you that that's not true. They'll say, well, women just like to fuck for fun too. Bullshit. I mean, before they fuck. Like they might want to fuck for fun, but after they fuck the dude, they have an emotional attachment. I've known so many women that just wanted to be friends with benefits. I fuck them one time and they're like driving past my house like 3 times a week for no reason and calling me and like, so is this the last time we're going to see each other? So are we going to get back together? And, you know, it's like this deal where they're just like constantly reaching out. Like, am I ever going to see you again? And it's clear, it's obvious that they have emotional attachments. They're acting completely different than they did before we fucked. Women get emotional attachments to the dudes they're fucking. So any guy out there that is remotely okay with the idea of being a cuck, just know the man that she's getting dicked down by is going to develop she's going to develop a stronger emotional attachment to him than she does with you. It's just the truth.
I like you. You're a fool and a dumbass, but an honest dumbass. I'm finishing my shift. I can gather some guys and beat up that jerk for you. I don't care who it is.
For free?
No, nothing is free.
It's funny that it's like a big double chin pinhead slob. That's like, yeah, sure. We'll go over there and beat this guy's ass.
Each of you will buy 2 bottles, and we have a deal.
Well, we can't afford it.
Too bad.
What's wrong with your voice?
Cancer.
Maybe the problem is with you. Because she thinks if Steven doesn't care, and it doesn't matter to him, maybe he doesn't love me. Maybe she just wants to see if your love is real.
You drunk?
I'm hungry.
Let's get a kebab.
No, I need to do something.
Well, finally.
I'll go there and show her.
That's the spirit.
I'll go there and do it.
Do what?
Rachel.
Stop yelling! You're waking people up!
I want to talk to Rachel, but I don't want to use the intercom right now.
Is yelling under the building more appropriate?
But you the one who yells. I'm calm as always.
Rachel, some guy with a harmonica is looking for you.
Should I go to him?
Don't, just leave him. He'll go away.
Rachel, I love you. Don't end this beautiful love. Please come back.
Wait.
Do you see this?
Yes.
This is not what we agreed on.
Boy had to do what he had to do.
This is madness.
This is cuckoldry.
The police might show up soon, so maybe we should bounce.
Then drive.
I've been drinking.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but if we get stopped, I'd rather be him to be driving.
Why are you yelling?
And who are you?
James.
Oh, it's you? Nice to meet you.
Are you sure about that? Why are you yelling at 2 a.m?
I wrote a song for Rachel.
Come back tomorrow morning.
I can't.
Why not?
Because I rented the accordion for an hour.
Leave, or I'll go down to you and break your stupid instrument on your head.
If you do that, you'll have to buy me a new one.
I'll talk to him.
Are you sure?
Yes, just go to bed. I'll be back in a moment.
Rachel, I love
Is that the Tyrone meme?
you. And if that's not enough, maybe my song will convince you.
If you start singing, I'll call the police.
And if I end up in jail, will you wait for me?
No.
Why not?
How many signals do I have to send you so you will finally understand?
I still don't understand.
Steven, just leave. It's over.
I won't go anywhere without you. I have nowhere to go.
Go to your idiotic friends then.
Did you hear what she said?
I heard. That pigeon face bitch.
I can give it to you back if you want.
No, take this with you, or not. Just leave it
I heard that pigeon face bitch.
there.
All right, I'll take it.
Steven, leave my slipper on the ground.
Littering is a crime.
It's misdemeanor.
Still counts.
A homeless person will come and take it.
Open the door, and I'll give it back to you. If not, I'll take it.
You're such an idiot, you know that?
I know. I've gone crazy with my love for you. Rachel, please give me a chance. It'll be just like in your movies. We're in the middle of a movie where they argue, but maybe you don't understand it right now. But eventually, we'll get back together. Because we can't imagine life without each other.
I doubt it.
Every time
How many guys in the chat have ever been in this guy's position?
you look at our photos together, you'll remember our love.
I deleted all our photos.
What about the ones I took with that old camera, framed and all?
Those are still at your place.
Where?
Second left drawer in the bedroom.
You sure?
Yeah, under your socks.
Possible.
Go away, Steven.
Tell me what I'm missing, and I'll fix myself.
You don't want to know.
I do.
He's twice, no, 10 times a better man than you'll ever be.
You mean in bed?
Yes, Steven, but that's not the only reason.
Is there something more?
I don't understand you young people. Instead of talking in private, you involve everyone in your business while waking up all the neighbors.
We didn't wake up everyone.
Yes, you did. I've been listening for several minutes now. I'm recording this shit. It's golden.
I want to be in the video too.
Steven, or whatever your name is.
Oh,
It's a
fuck
bit embarrassing that you come here with your funny ass-looking guitar where your woman has just left another man's bed.
How do you know that?
We could hear it. I recorded it too.
Pigs.
Let it go, boy.
Never.
Throw an egg or something at him. It will be even funnier.
Please don't do this.
You're just making people around the block turn against you with your behavior. You need to make a simple decision. Yes or no.
No.
Yes.
Like kids.
This is ridiculous. I'm going to bed. If you stay here and keep shouting, someone will definitely call the police. I will not see you anymore. So good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Don't let the bedbugs bite you.
Yeah, whatever.
Damn. Oh man. Is that they did the shadow have something there? I can't tell. No, it's just nothing. It'd be funny if the shadow was like I don't know. Good stuff. Anyways, very, very, very good stuff. Now, guys, I hope that I've trained you better than that. We don't want to have any cucks out there in the chat. Be sure to like this video. We actually lost likes. I updated it. We were at 26. Now we're down to 24. So people actually took their likes away. What a damn shame. And somebody hit the dislike button, which they're probably shadow banned. There we go. Likes are back up. All right, guys, I guess we can move on to some dating advice if any of you want to call in. If you have any dating advice related questions that you'd like to get through. There it is. Only took once to learn to not be a goofball with women, but I see some dudes repeating the same mistakes. True. True dat, true dat. Is that Donovan Sharp? All right, guys, we will be back after these messages with some dating advice. I've done my best to try to make good commercials that are somewhat entertaining, so we'll be right back after these messages.
Listen.
I will be so glad to get out of here.
To your generation.
Don't start no fight now.
Listen.
I'm a black woman, okay? I deserve respect.
To your world.
Figure out what you're gonna do with your life.
Listen.
How can you be in love if you don't know nothing about it?
To your heart.
Nobody can make it out here alone.
Janet Jackson, Tupac Shakur, Poetic Justice. From the director of Boys in the Hood. Rated R. At theaters Friday.
LFA.
From the crypt.
flash of the movie that should make your TV set very happy that there are no gun shops open at this hour. Vampire on Bikini Beach on USA up all night. You know, it's a funny thing about getting robbed. I don't exactly know what it is, but I'm sure there's something funny about it.
All right, bang. We don't have anybody in queue yet. What's going on? This is actually my least viewed live stream of the year so far. 1 hour in. I thought maybe having a surprise, a surprise Friday night stream would get us, we'd have more people viewing and more people wanting to get involved, but seems we have the opposite. Maybe this one won't run as long as we thought we might. Q. LFA, besides lifting weights, what do you enjoy as a pastime? Looking for new hobbies myself. I like all kinds of stuff, man. But your hobbies should be things that you enjoy doing. You just have to do shit that you like, man. Don't listen to me to tell you what, give you pointers on what you should or should not be doing. We all have different things we're into. I like doing things that are self-improvement related. So if it's something that makes me money or something that, something like working out, building a physique, I like to eat healthy. I know it's not a hobby, but I like to keep myself in line and each day be a little bit better than I was the day before. I don't like for my hobbies to be things that actually make me worse. OG, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, LFA, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, man, first of all, I don't want to waste so much time, but it is really a pleasure to, talk with you now. I've been watching your videos for 2 months, and it's, really almost a new world, coming from that PUA kind of stuff. So I really want to thank you and for all that work that you put into your main channel. It helped me a lot.
I'm glad. What type of PUA stuff were you watching before?
I didn't watch. I practiced.
Yeah.
Quite rigorously, and it wasn't like the YouTube kind of stuff. It was in my opinion, quite legit. So I don't know if you know.
Your opinion, it was what?
Legit. I'm from Germany, so my English is not the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what type of pickup artists were you doing? What type of pickup artistry were you doing?
Well, I started with day game.
Day game. So
and
going out to shopping centers and cold approaching people.
I became a student, and then it was Corona and stuff like that. And when Corona opened, I just started going wild and telling and shooting my shots everywhere. And yeah, I got results. Then somewhere I got I hit a roadblock and I couldn't continue. I didn't know why.
Yeah.
I just wasn't motivated anymore. And then I got coaching, and then I got into night game, and then I racked up some numbers there as well. And yeah, but in the end, it's like you said in one video, which was like, you said two things which really got a hold of me. The first thing you said, PUA are like raccoons. I was laughing my ass off in that video.
Yeah.
And
It's true though, isn't it? When you think about it,
it's true.
A man like an honorable and glorious man, a proud son of Macedon, would find himself an honorable woman, and he would marry her and have a family with her, right?
Man, LFA, sometimes on your videos, you're killing me, man.
Yeah.
Hey guys, tonight I'm shooting the shit with you. It's
Yeah.
really nice, man. It's really nice. I really am a great fan of your work. And then the other thing that you said, which is sadly also true, PUA teaches you to be avoidant. And in the PUA community, I wasn't too bad. Like, I was like, had a lot of free time, and getting girls was almost like my job now. So I racked up numbers. I'm not proud of it, and I'm in therapy now. Yeah? Which I think is a good thing for me, but it's just there seems for me some kind of space, like, I'm in the PUA stuff, and I see you videos like not sleeping in the PUA. We learned sleep with the girl at the first night, and
yeah,
what you're teaching is quite the opposite, and I'm trying it. I fail sometimes. Right now, well, do you know those? I don't know. In America, maybe there are people like fundraisers for charities. Do you know that? That's in
Yeah.
Germany with us, and I'm one of those. And whenever we meet each other, we hook up like crazy. And it's like, for a few weeks ago, it was like the first time I didn't hook up with anybody, and I was kind of sad. I felt like a failure, and yeah, it's like I don't exactly know what the question is. It's more like the transitioning from being PUA to like getting to know a girl before having sex. It's just so new for me.
Yeah. Well, it's what life is really about is, and a lot of guys are cool being single and doing the MGTOW thing. But for most guys, what life is all about is having children, having a family, settling down with a woman, and doing that stuff. So your legacy will live on through children. That's what life's all about. And modern men and women are just corrupted with hookup culture, with pickup artist stuff. And it's like everybody just wants to have sex with as many people as possible. And, it clearly has a massive negative impact on society. It fucks women up. It fucks women's heads up, and men just become like, when you can't be satisfied by one woman, when you need a bunch of women, you have a problem. You're not going to be a good father. You're not going to be a good husband. You're not going to be good at any of that stuff because you have a sex addiction.
Yes. That's why I'm in therapy.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, a man should be honorable. He should be glorious and honorable. So his children should look at him and say, Dad is a respectful, honorable, honest, loyal man, and a pickup artist is none of that.
That's true. Sadly, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And I think the idea of being a pickup artist, it's fun for a guy that is addicted to porn and he wants to learn how to get laid. Maybe he's 18 or 19 years old because he thinks
exactly that.
Yeah.
Because I was 25 at that time.
Yeah. And most people right now, they're porn addicts and you know, they just want to have sex. So they think that's an exciting way to live, but they're living in the moment while they're young. But at some point, you know, you have to transition to what will the kid, what sort of a role model are you to the younger people, especially if you want to settle down and have kids. And you say, well, doing that is not, you're not a good role model when you're doing that, you know? So,
but what is there in between? Like, you know,
everybody's gonna have their glory days. Like, you know, 19, 20, 21, 22, people are gonna do crazy shit.
Yeah.
But the sooner you mature, the better off you'll be.
Yes.
And getting rid of porn and stop preventing yourself from hooking up with different women all the time. That's all part of growing up. You know, and it's not, and that's the problem with the manosphere, with the pickup artist side. They push it as if it's self-improvement. Like hooking up with more women is somehow self-improvement in their eyes. But in actuality, it's something that is, it's just masking the fact that you're not improving yourself. It's an escape from self-improvement. So eventually you have to grow up, walk away from that stuff and move on to the next stage of your life. A more respectable stage, you could say. A more mature stage, if that makes sense. I think you've muted yourself, or we've lost you.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What do you mean? It's when you said it's deludes me into thinking I'm doing self-improvement, but it's not.
Yeah, well, having sex with women is a pleasure. So it's good. Like if you've been working all week and you're stressed out, like maybe you're an author and you're stressed out, you're getting writer's block, you're having a hard time coming up with something. So you say, I'm going to go out with a woman because I need to blow off some steam and have a good time. That's okay. But when you have, when hooking up with women becomes the skill you're trying to master, the life you're trying to create, like, then you are actually going down a path that is not self-improvement. You know, you're not improving yourself by doing that. You're having sex with women to cope with the fact that you're not improving in the other areas.
Oh shit, man. I really never saw it as that, but I really have trust in your expertise. But that's like telling me the last 3 years were almost for nothing.
Well, if you spent those 3 years trying to have sex with as many women as possible, what if instead you would have spent those 3 years building your physique, building a business, you know, doing something that you're passionate about achieving, which would have brought you the better results?
I wrote in my, I don't know, in my journal about that the day before yesterday. And if you ask me like that, the option 2 would have brought me better results.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I think so.
Shit, man.
Good. I mean, you're young. There's no need to be stressed out about it. I mean, you're
no problem. No, I really appreciate your honesty. But then a question is now clear for me. For me, I thought like, you know, okay, I will go to therapy and try to be a relationship kind of guy. But what I'm getting that you're saying is like focus on yourself, build something that you're passionate about, and everything else will just come naturally.
Well, I mean, relationships will help with that. So when you're living a life of chaos,
yes, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, when you're just hooking up with random women all the time and it's just like up and down and living a crazy life, you don't have stability. So let's say you're at university pursuing a college degree and
Yes, that's
or
what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah, and let's say you're working and you're saving money. Having a girlfriend will speed that up because she'll be there to help cook for you, to, you know, instead of going out and hooking up with different chicks all the time, you've got one steady girl there. A lot of guys think a girlfriend drains your time and money and all that stuff. It actually provides you with more. So now you have somebody else sharing half of your responsibilities with you. So having a girlfriend, you don't have to put a girlfriend off. Like you can have a girlfriend while you're doing self-improvement.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you recommend me? Because I mean, I really enjoy like talking with you, but I really know that other people need your help as well. But we will be talking a few more times in the future, if that's for you, okay for you as well.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate your work. You really helped me through a dark time. I really find your approach different than all the other manosphere kind of stuff. It's like, anyways, so in your opinion, should I first try to get some stability and for a time, like forget the girls? And when, I mean, I knew it from my life experience before. Whenever I'm like good in my life, a girl just came naturally, and she was like, it matched quite good. It matched quite good.
Women are the ones that do the attracting, and men, you know, men, we build skyscrapers, we code computers, we fix cars, we're firefighters, police officers, we fight wars. You know, that's what men do. So for a man, what you want to do is you want to be the most respectable man amongst other men. You want other men to respect you. You want to build your wealth. You want to build your physique. You want to become something that women are trying to attract. And, you know, you don't have to do all that pickup artist shit. When women like you, when women see you as a guy they want to be with, you don't have to do all that like running around cold approaching and shit. Women are naturally going to like you. They're naturally going to want to be with you. So your only problem, or the only skill you need to master, the only game you need to learn is not letting every woman in. You know, you got to be very, very selective with your women. And a woman has to be of high moral character, of a higher standard if you're going to get with her at that point. Whereas the pickup artist is just trying to hook up. He's a scavenger. He's a raccoon.
Yes.
He's just digging through the trash, trying to get as many women as he can. You know, when you're
so bad, but it's so true.
Yeah. But, you know, let's say you're jacked, you know, let's say you have an amazing physique, and let's say you have a lot of money, you have a good career. You're respected amongst all of the men in your city, in your country. You're a highly respected man. Well, now your only job when it comes to women is to not let the low quality women have a chance, you know, to only select the high quality women, and select a high quality woman that you want a relationship with. So that's what you should do.
Well, then, I mean, I will try my best in doing that. I know that I will slip up sometimes. I mean, since I've been watching your videos, I've been just in the club one time, and well, I hooked up there. I'm sorry. Yeah, well, I will try my best, man, and we will talk in the future. Again, I really appreciate your work, and like when you doing like those works through your neighborhood, and it's like, you know, having a role model. Like you're kind of a bad boy but a nice guy. I don't know what you are, man. It's like really an interesting mix.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you like them.
Yes. Thank you very much, and until next time.
Okay, buddy. Thanks for calling.
Yes.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, do I get off?
There you go. Shout out to the chat. Any tips for low self-esteem? Well, number one, you need to lift weights. When you see your body getting physically stronger and you're eating healthy and you feel strong, your self-esteem will go up because something is physically getting better with you. Save up money, watch your savings account go up slowly. Even if you're saving like $20 a week, watch it go up. Just each week it's getting higher and higher. Okay, so you have concrete, visual, clear, concrete blocks being built in your life that you're putting together. And then, whatever it is, whatever areas you're lacking in, work on those areas. If it's something like, maybe it's where you live, like you feel like, there's something about your house that you don't like. Well, maybe you need to mow the lawn and plant some flowers in the front yard, make it look better. Find the areas, anything in your life that makes you feel insecure, anything about you and the things you have and the things you're doing, and start to take pride in all of it. Claim ownership of your bedroom, ownership of your front lawn, your backyard, your house on the inside, the way it looks, your bank account, your physique. Take ownership of it all. Anything you see that you can change, something that you look at and it's just an eyesore and makes you feel like you are less than for some reason, change it. Don't be lazy and just look past it. Like, it's kind of like the Jordan Peterson make your bed thing. So if you walk into your bedroom 20 times a day and you always, your bedroom's always a mess, you got clothes on the floor, your bed's never made, and you walk past it and you look at it and you're like, man, everything is fucking shitty. I could never bring a girl here, blah, blah, blah. And you never fix it. Well, that's always going to be a problem. That's fucking with your self-esteem. That's always going to be there. But then when you start to claim ownership of it all and say, no more, okay? Every time I take an item of clothing off, it goes in the laundry basket. We wash it. Every time I get out of bed, I make my bed, vacuum the carpet, whatever. Everything that I was looking at before that was making me feel less than is changing. We're getting rid of it. Anything that made me insecure, anything that lowered my self-esteem, we're getting rid of it. And the only reason for not getting rid of it is because you're lazy. And it sucks, but people are lazy nowadays. They just are. And as soon as you realize that you do have the power to change that stuff and you're the reason why that stuff was happening, well, then you can change it all. And within a couple of months, all of a sudden, you can be the fucking man in your own eyes and your confidence is high. You love who you are. So keep that in mind, my G, my guy. 52 live viewers. We got 52 viewers in the house. I was hoping, I really thought tonight would be the night when we would hit 100 live viewers. I thought it would be it. Just thought there was no question. We will be there. Least viewed live of all time. LFA out here doing numbers. I wish. Numbers aren't doing too well right now.
Have you been smoking marijuana?
Likes up. Salute. Michael Murray in the house. What's up, everyone? Happy Thanksgiving. Good to have you here, sir. Good times, good times. Young Moses in the house with the channel sponsor. With the $13.99 Canadian ducats. Says, I just want to say, since I've been sober from alcohol for 8 months, having the LFA show to watch really keeps me busy and positive love being here. Man, thank you for the consistency and passion. Well, sir, we're glad to have you. And that's awesome that you're sober. And I apologize for drinking here on the stream. And what I will say is I have like 1 or 2 beers. And since I don't have a drinking problem, I can, a 6-pack will last me 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how long it lasts. So I don't mind having like 1 or 2 beers in an evening, on a Friday evening or a Thursday evening. But for most guys out there, I think it's awesome that you get sober and you stay sober. And I'm glad you can sit back and watch the show. It's not like the old days when, people sat back and watched cable TV and, they had their primetime television. Now we have the internet, we have YouTube live streams, and we can actually connect with like-minded people that, all have the same mindsets, and we're just normal people, normal fucking people that we can relate to, not Hollywood actors worth hundreds of millions of dollars and shit like that. We're just normal people, so it's cool. I think that's the awesome thing. So getting sober, hanging out and watching normal people, and it's live action. So you got a chat full of live people. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Thanks to you for helping sponsor the stream, my friend. Appreciate that beautiful life. Cracking, lacking. People might be too stuffed to call in. Yeah. It's also the day after Black Friday, so people were probably with family all day yesterday, and then they're out shopping today. Maybe they decided to get drunk with some friends the day after Thanksgiving. I know Friday after Thanksgiving is a big party day where I come from. I don't really party anymore, so not so much for me. It's more of a relaxed day for me. But I understand for some people it's going to be a party day. But, tis what it is. Raging Tomato has a major beef with Just Pearly Things. If Tomato gets a larger following, like if her channel grows, that'll be interesting to see them going back and forth. Kind of like the way Brittany Venti goes after Pearl all the time. Here's a...
I went onto the internet today to find my sweet granddaughter a pearl necklace for her wedding. She's 16 and her groom is only 1 year younger than my late Nelson. We are very proud of her family legacy. Somehow I got into the manosphere and found this ugly man named Pearl. Or maybe it was Earl. I need to take my medication.
We just took a DNA test. Turns out we're 100% the best, even when we're going crazy.
Celebrities like Lizzo will lead with their weight. Are women this stupid? Women are not paid as much because they're lazy, they don't want to do the hard jobs, and they love to bitch and moan. Honestly, I think that most women over the age of 25 even are a lost cause. Fat chicks are fat. 35.
Hold on, though. Let's go back and look at everything that Pearl said. And I don't really follow Pearl, but here, hold on. Let's go through this checklist here and see what we have here.
Celebrities like Lizzo will lead with their weight.
True.
Are women this stupid?
True.
Women are not paid as much because they're lazy, they don't want to do the hard jobs, and they love to bitch and moan.
True.
Honestly, I think that most women over the age of 25 even are a lost cause.
True.
Fat chicks are fat.
True.
35, you've lost all the things that men value.
True. I can't play the song because it's copyright. But yep. I'm not gonna play it. I guess we can have it playing in the background, but I can't play the music because it's all copyright. But you can go over and listen to it. If you're a fan of the Raging Tomato, you know what? Go subscribe to the Raging Tomatoes channel. Go give her a sub. We've got 50 people watching, and I'm sure a good 10 of you are already subscribed to her. So maybe she'll see plus 40 in subscribers by the time this one's over. We'll see. But yeah, I'll tell you why people have a problem with Just Pearly Things. And there's, you know, different groups of people will have different reasons for having problems with Just Pearly Things. But the manosphere, the reason, okay, I left the manosphere in 2020. Okay. I've none of my content relates to what other people in the manosphere are talking about. It's, you know, I've just basically turned into a men's self-improvement and, you know, commentary channel. And I just kind of say what I want to say. But the manosphere, back when I was in it, was a place where regular dudes would turn on their cameras, make low budget, hella relatable videos. Maybe it's about like MGTOW, maybe it's about red pill, maybe it's about black pill, but it's shit that men would watch and be like, fuck yeah, I fucking relate to that shit. That's my shit right there. And then things started to change. You know, Kevin Samuels started blowing up. Rollo Tomasi started blowing up. Fresh and Fit started blowing up. And I have no problem with any of those guys blowing up. Like, I think Kevin Samuels had his own lane. He was doing something different. And, you know, he had his own following, and that, you know, that was an entirely different following than my following. So, you know, he didn't interfere with anything that I did. So I was perfectly fine with him getting millions and millions of dollars in views and all that. Fresh and Fit, I think they took a lot of my viewers because they were more like aggressive, rapid fire content, more action involved. But at the same time, I'm cool with them. So, and I like them, and I've spoke with them, and they're nice guys. So I root for their success. You know, I'm not the type of person that hates on other people. You know, Rollo, obviously the Godfather, he was definitely going to be successful because his writings are a lot of what created the Manosphere to begin with. He was behind the scenes, you know, as a thought leader before he was on the screen as on camera. And, you know, but then when people like Just Pearly Things started to come out, and not just her, there are like hundreds of Manosphere content creators who have nothing to do with the Manosphere. Like they're just regurgitating shit that they've heard other content creators say. They have nothing original to say. They don't even know why they're saying what they say. So when they push their message, they're not putting the right emphasis on the right areas. So they're just kind of teaching guys bullshit that makes no sense, but they're getting hundreds of thousands of views and hundreds of thousands of subs. And, you know, Just Pearly Things is just one of the hundreds of people that does that. And, you know, she has a good work ethic. She's talented enough to put on a good show. She's very good at speaking on camera. So, you know, she deserves what she gets, but it's just in the Manosphere and the space that we're in. I don't see why she chose this space. Like, why? Like, shouldn't she, if she would have went somewhere else, the Manosphere would be better off. I don't see why she had to jump here, because all she is basically a talking head. So she could have been a talking head anywhere. I don't know why she chose the Manosphere. Whatever. Yeah, views, but I think she could have got views anywhere. Yeah, it's a place where she stands out. It's like the girl we were watching earlier that was doing the semen retention videos. Why would a girl make semen retention videos? Well, because she knows a lot of the men out there are going to really enjoy watching her content because they're dudes that are fucking thirsty. It's just the way that it goes. All right, we've lost a lot of viewers, so I'm going to go get another beer. I don't really give a damn. We'll be back after these messages.
Listen
I will be so glad to get out of here.
to your generation.
Don't start no fight now.
Listen
I'm a black woman, okay? I deserve respect.
to your world.
Figure out what you're gonna do with your life.
Listen
How can you be in love if you don't know nothing about it?
to your heart.
Nobody can make it out here alone.
Janet Jackson, Tupac Shakur, Poetic Justice. From the director of Boys in the Hood. Rated R. At theaters Friday.
LFA.
Tales from the Crypt.
And now back to the movie that should make your TV set very happy that there are no gun shops open at this hour. Vampire on Bikini Beach on USA up all night. You know, it's a funny thing about getting robbed. I don't exactly know what it is, but I'm sure there's something funny about it.
All right, we're back. Thanks for joining us. And we lost even more viewers while we were on a commercial break. I don't know why they don't stick around for those commercials. I work hard to make those commercials. And thank you for that, John. I think it's better, you know. Is there any minimum amount of trans activities that I have to do before signing up for female sports? Or can I just claim that I'm a chick on the inside? Well, it's all pink on the inside, buddy. Unless you get to a point where you start dealing with men, and in that case, it's all brown on the inside.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I don't mean that as an encouraging way of saying that. I mean it as disgusting, buddy. Don't go down that disgusting path unless that's what you're into, because we don't judge around here. Captain Brown Eye. My name is Sandra. Every girl has her secrets. Q. LFA, this chick I'm talking to had a lot of guy friends. She tells me not to worry about it because they have been friends for a while. How do I handle my insecurity? Well, I can tell you one thing. Every time I've ever known a woman that has a lot of guy friends, she has a lot of guy friends because number one, she needs attention from men all the time. And number two, she gets really pissed off when other girls are getting attention from guys and she is not, which are two major red flags for an attention whore. And attention whores will push things to a limit or push things to an extreme of actually fucking when they need attention at their weakest point. So if she has a lot of guy friends, I would just say major red flag. If you want to be with me, you got to get rid of your guy friends. That's what I would tell her. And I would just say, fuck it. I would stop talking to her. Like, I don't even think it needs an explanation. What I would do is I would just stop talking to her. And when she reaches out and says, what's going on? Why haven't you been talking to me? I'd be like, well, look, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're the type of chick that has a lot of dude friends. And I'm no idiot. I'm not a naive man. So I just decided maybe it wasn't going to work out. Now, if you ever enter a stage of your life when you don't want to have a lot of guy friends and you just don't want to hang out with any other guys except for me, well, then maybe we can talk at that point. But until then, you go do you, whore. And then that would be it. Because if you're talking to a girl and she's, trying to get with you, but she's hanging out with dude friends, she's disrespecting you. That's disrespectful, isn't it? Wouldn't you think that if you had a girlfriend and you were going out with to hang out with other girls, don't you think that's a little bit disrespectful? I mean, maybe you don't. Some people don't. Me, I'm a proud son of Macedon. I'm glorious and I have integrity and honor. Therefore, loyalty matters to me. Loyalty and honor are virtuous features that must be utilized. One must possess to be a proud son of Macedon. Have you ever considered doing a meet and greet for fans and subs? Yeah, I was going to do it like 2 years ago, but I wanted to hit 100,000 subs before I did it. I thought I was going to hit 100,000 subs in 2019. So that's when I was going to do the meet and greet. June 2019 is when I had set it up, but my channel just flatlined, stopped getting subs. Right now I'm at 95,000. So if I do, then maybe we'll do a meetup. Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What was going on? You got to get on all the red pilled podcasts to reach that number. Hey, I've been averaging this month, I've been averaging 100 subs per day. So at 100 subs per day, that's like, that's 3,000 a month, 3,100 a month. I could reach it if I continue at this pace. I'll have the 100,000 subscriber plaque by my birthday, February 3rd. Or go heal. But realistically, I'll probably hit another slump. I'll probably be at like 99,000 on my birthday, and then we'll have some slow growth for a while. And then late spring, early summer, I'll hit 100,000. But it's not very often when we do that. When we have these big spurts. Here's one more sub, brother. I appreciate that. But this is my small channel. This channel will probably never hit 100,000 subs unless some sort of a miracle happens. But it's my main channel, just titled LFA. That's the one that's close to 100,000. But we're glad to have you on board over here on this channel as well. More retention videos. Yeah, but I've already made enough of those. I have no reason to make more of those videos. Yeah, but Rollo's been growing since he first came on YouTube. I don't want to go on Fresh and Fit for my own benefit. Like that's not my personality. And I understand going on other people's shows will help my channel grow, but I would like to bring value to other people. And I don't know if I'm a good fit for that show. I mean, I bet you we would I bet you we would be good friends. Like if I hung out with Myron and Fresh, we'd probably get along, we'd have a good time. It'd be cool. It'd be a good time, but I don't know if I'm a good fit for that show. Like, I just don't know if LFA is a good fit for Fresh and Fit. I don't know. Just the style of their content versus mine. Shout out to the honest truth. Yeah. Hey, we have a lot of content creators in this that show up in the chat here on LFA Live that are trying to build up an audience. And yeah, if we can get something going that will get views and make money, like live streams can make a lot of money. You just have to have viewers. So, my live streams get like 50 to 100 viewers at once usually. And if you have a live stream that's getting like 5,000 views, 10,000 views at once, super chats naturally will come in and you'll make like 5 to 10,000 in one night off of super chats on a big show like that. If you're getting the views, and if we could put something together to where the viewers would like it enough to support it on that level, then we could have several personalities on the show, all, splitting the income and investing back into the show and creating a good show. That would be good. That would be a cool little career to have. And look, in 2023, most people out there don't really want to work a 9-to-5 job. It's like going to college, becoming a business executive, that sort of deal. Nobody wants that anymore. We live in a different age. If you can make $1 million a year doing podcasting and, just fucking having a good time, and you can do that, by the way, it's in your reach. Everybody out there that has the internet, it's in your reach. And yeah, that would be cool. Valuetainment would suit you better, I bet. Or more playing with fire debates. Well, yeah, the thing about, I know he titled that a debate, the playing with fire thing, but I don't think it was a debate because I don't think we really disagreed on anything. He tried to bring things up that he thought we would disagree on, but in reality, we agreed on the issues. And that's why I was just like, I'm not going to defend the other position. Like when he's like, so what's your thoughts on this? I mean, obviously I have an opinion, but I don't disagree with him on very many things. So it wasn't really much of a debate. It was more of just like a conversation. I remember you back in 2018, LFA, you were more MGTOW while also talking PUA. You've evolved. Well, yeah, that's why the PUAs, I was in a weird situation back then because the pickup artists were making all kinds of videos about me, like Street Attraction, and I forget, there was a few pickup artists that had made videos, like diss videos about me or criticizing me or reaction videos. And then there were MGTOWs that were attacking me too, because I was still hooking up with women. And they're like, well, he's just grifting off the MGTOW thing. The reason why I liked MGTOW content is because it focused on men's self-improvement. And it was cool videos where dudes could just shoot the shit, bullshit with each other and just talk about whatever. And that was what I liked. But there were several reasons why I quit talking MGTOW. Number one, because the prominent MGTOW content creators were at a point where they were talking about like fucking dolls and shit. Like the most popular guys in the MGTOW space. And it was weird. They were like, doing this like doll fucking and shit, like selling sex dolls and saying like robot AI women are better than real women and blah, blah, blah. Turned into this weird thing. I don't think a MGTOW can fuck a doll. I think the first word in the acronym of the MGTOW is men. Men. If you fuck dolls, you are not a man. You're a male, not a man. And that's my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. But I think like fucking mannequins and fucking dolls and fucking robots is like you have mental issues when you do that shit. Like you're a weird fucking person. And I don't mean that in like a disrespectful way. I'm just saying, realistically speaking, like from a psychological standpoint, you probably have some fucking problems. Normal dudes don't fuck dolls. It's definitely doable. Just have to be entertaining and wild. Yes, I agree. But I would be fine with just having entertaining and wild people around me, and I can just be myself while they're doing crazy shit. I would be cool with that. Yeah, they were pushing that doll stuff. It was strange. It's a weird time period. I agree with that, Jeremy. I agree. Thornburg. Like, I'd be cool with doing a podcast and we could have like a bunch of OnlyFans whores on it and stuff. And while they're like going crazy and being whores, and I'd just be like the boring dude, like, what the hell is wrong with these whores? But it'd be a fun job. Like, I would enjoy doing it. Maybe I'll talk about serious stuff while other people are doing wild shit. It would be a good clash. It'd be like a good contradictory thing and make the show more spicy. I'll let you know. Get them to change their ways. Look, man, you know, you can't get a whore to change. A whore is going to be a whore. LFA, you should just roll on a pod and catch them off guard. Yeah. I mean, that's how I would do it. Like, if I were going to go on Fresh and Fit, I wouldn't tell anybody I was going to. It would just be like out of nowhere. The fuck, LFA is LFA is on there. Q, what is your opinion on women who shame guys for being too old and guys for being immature? And you guys for being immature. What is your opinion on women who shame guys for being too old and you guys for being immature? By you guys, you mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know of anybody that shames me for being immature. Look, older women don't like to see men their age dating younger women because every older woman knows she can't compete with her younger self. Every woman was hotter at 21 than she was at 31. It's a fact. But men that are 31 are usually more attractive than they were at 21. Oh, by young guys for being immature. Oh yeah, yeah. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. And women are fully aware of this. 20-year-old women like getting with 30-year-old men. 30-year-old women get mad when 30-year-old men get with 20-year-old women because they know they can't compete with their 20-year-old self. It's just a cope. You know, that's the red pill for women. That's the big red pill for women. The red pill for a woman is you have tons of value when you're young, but as you age, just with age, you lose value. And, you know, having kids causes you to lose value. Hooking up with multiple men causes you to lose value. And they don't understand that. So when they age and their value has gone down tremendously, they're bitter. You know, they turn into bitter women. And when guys in their age group don't want to get with them, they'd rather get with the young virgins, the hot virgins. That's just life, you know. But of course, they're going to be bitter about it. It's a cope. Show guys how to be a player podcast. And every once in a while, we get serious. It just can't be complete shitting on women. Yeah, it'd be cool. Okay. Almost messed with a woman twice my age a couple of years back when I was 27. Hey, I've been with a 50-year-old woman. Well, she was 49, actually. Wasn't a bad time. I mean, it's a pretty good time. I don't think you should get into a relationship with an older woman, but if she looks good for her age, she'll teach you a thing or two. You might have a little bit of fun. Q, what are your plans for your birthday? Hell, I don't know. That's 2 months away. I'll figure something out, though. I don't know what I'll do yet. We need more pods that doesn't focus on women primarily, but focuses on leading and shaping men to be their better selves. Yeah, but the thing about that is you got to look at the market. So the market that you're talking about already has Jocko Willink, Jordan Peterson. You know, there's already podcasts out there for that. So jumping into that area and competing with, you know, Navy SEALs that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars is no easy task. That's why people choose the manosphere. It's low hanging fruit. You know, if you have a bunch of OnlyFans and strippers on there and shit like that, and it's like Jerry Springer style comedy, you know, you can make it pretty easily. But if it's just like a focused on shaping men's futures and shit, it's gonna be difficult. Nobody's going to watch. They're going to be like, who the fuck are these fucking idiots? Who would take advice from these fucking guys? I'd rather take advice from Jocko Willink and Brad Pitt. People need entertainment. That's where the money is at. You know, it's weird. I haven't seen Carrie Sontag. Guys, I do want to question how I want to show you guys just exactly how interesting women are at their core level. Women are extremely interesting people.
Nothing will change if we don't change. We change this planet by first changing ourselves so we can see a reflection out onto our earth. Nothing will change if we don't change. We change this planet by first.
What do you think about that? Do you feel like you learned something after that one? I do.
Have you been smoking marijuana?
Intellectual powerhouse. Love that girl. Anyways. Q, any new purchases on Black Friday? Sadly, no. There was nothing that I needed. I know. It's like the thing about Black Friday is very seldom do you find anything that you really want on sale. Usually stores like Walmart will have like some shitty TV, you know, some like 70-inch piece of shit TV that like, it's like the worst resolution that Samsung possibly offers. And it'll be like a 70-inch TV for like $249 or some shit like that. And they only have like 100 of them for sale. And you go there, you wait in line, and there's 200 people in front of you, and they're going to be sold out by the time you get to the front. And it's just this big shit show of like going around to malls and Best Buy and Walmart and all of these places. And when you get there, you know, like the shit that I want, like there's not going to be a new Mac Studio Pro, whatever. Like I'm not going to find the new computer that I want on sale. It's going to be the same price. The iPhone 15 Pro is going to be the same price. You know, the PlayStation, if you're a video gamer, the Xbox, they're all going to be the same price. The shit that's going to be on sale is going to be like some entry level HP laptop for $129. It's like a 4 gigabyte RAM piece of shit. You know, but whatever. If you're somebody out there that's like a shopping addict and you just love to get out there and shop, more power to you. You know, I used to do that, especially when I was with my ex-girlfriend. We would eat Thanksgiving. We would go out and, you know, hit up all the malls. We would be out at like 12 a.m. and we would stay out till like 8 a.m. Go, you know, get some pancakes, eat, go pass out, and then get drunk on Friday night and enjoy all the shit that we bought and whatever. But looking back, you're not saving money by shopping on Black Friday. And you're not going to find any high quality products at good prices. You're going to find a couple of pieces of shit or clearance items that they're trying to push out of the store. So they're marking them down to bring in the new shit for next year. But you're never going to find, what you want on sale. At least I don't. That's kind of a big waste of time in that. Big news for 2024, ghouls, etc. I just I'm just going to fucking grind it out, man. I'm on the up and up in many different areas. But, no big plans to speak of, but we're going to continue improving. That's for sure. And shout out to Z Chat. I guess Friday is just not a good night. Maybe just not this Friday. Yeah. I'm surprised, man. No V-taper, no tomato, no Carrie. No Christina DK. CSS Element, Davy Jones, none of them. Everybody's gone. Q, as a single guy living in a house on your own, would you consider roommates to help pay rent? If so, what would your renter preference be and how would you get out the renters? I don't want roommates. The only how would you vet out room renters? I don't want any roommates. I had a male roommate when I was like 18. We were best friends and we turned into worst enemies. It's just not worth it. Having a male roommate is not something that I can really, I'm not down with that. It's just not the way it should be. Female roommate. Yeah. If I decide to have a serious relationship again, then yeah, we'll be roommates, but that's the only way that would happen. It'd have to be a girlfriend that I plan on, being very serious with. And then my vetting process would just go to, the typical vetting process. Is she a whore? Does she have mental issues? Is she somebody that I can trust? Is she a loyal person with integrity? Things that matter. Is she a woman that's obedient to her man? Most importantly. Q, do you think it's harder to find a serious relationship the older you get? I don't think your age. I mean, yeah, I think once you hit like I would say over like 40, it probably starts to get more difficult. I'd say 45, it starts to get more difficult. But I don't know, I'm 37. But at this point, I don't find it difficult. But I think in this age, not my age, but this age of human beings, it's harder to find a relationship. Everybody's on social media. Everybody's at this giant swingers club where everybody's just hooking up with everybody. And that's kind of how life is. So, if you live in a bigger city, relationships aren't very easy to come by. Hookups are easy to come by, but relationships are not. Top red flags to look for when doing cold approach. Well, you're not going to really identify that many red flags when you're cold approaching. It takes time and experience. You got to get to know her. I think it takes time. And a cold approach, you're just basing it off how she looks and how attracted to her you are. But, it takes time to see those red flags. And top red flags, has a lot of guy friends, has never been good at long-term relationships, parents divorced, didn't know her dad. I don't know. There's a lot of red flags, but it's an endless amount of red flags. But you just gotta, it's not so much about canceling women out. It's about knowing what you're dealing with when you get with a woman. And if you know what kind of problems she has, you can choose if you want to do the relationship, or you can choose, or at least you'll know what you're dealing with. How do you regain respect if you lost it? Look, how do you regain respect if you lost it? By respecting yourself. So people only lose respect for you when you don't respect yourself. So let's say a girl is cheating on you, but you say, I love her, so I'm going to stay with her. So a girl is cheating on you, but you say, I love her, so I'm going to stay with her. Well, you're not respecting yourself because you're staying with a woman that's cheating on you. Therefore, she does not respect you, and she will continue cheating on you. And if you wanted to regain her respect, you would say, bitch, you have disrespected me by cheating on me. Get the fuck out. Stay the fuck away. And now she will regain respect for you. But that relationship's over. But that's what it comes down to. Always respecting yourself. Because when guys put themselves in situations where they have people have lost respect for them, it's always because you lost respect for yourself. If you were respecting yourself all the way, people have no choice but to respect you. That's what it comes down to. Think of any time in your life when people have lost respect for you. Guaranteed, something about your integrity slipped up and you disrespected yourself, and that's what caused it. But if you're a proud son of Macedon, then you'll always have honor and integrity, and you'll be fucking glorious, and they will respect you. Q, top places to find high value women versus worst places to run into quality women. High quality women. I would say the gym. A girl that takes good care of her physique, is disciplined enough to go to the gym every day. A girl that goes to the gym, let's say 4 days a week, 5 days a week, there's a very good chance that she's responsible enough to where she's going to bed on time. She's not getting drunk all the time. You know, she's prioritizing her health over, you know, partying and doing crazy shit. Therefore, the rest of her life is going to become more stable. She's going to value, you know, more responsible type things. I think the gym's the best place to find quality women. Could be wrong, but, you know, whatever. Lazy no mo. Q. Is someone placing their phone upside down a red flag? Like, I don't care what people do with their phone, but that tends to make me curious. Yeah, well, look, I'm not afraid to hand my phone to people. I don't fucking care. Like, I don't have anything to hide, so I will hand my phone unlocked and let somebody use it. Like, if I were on a date with a girl and her phone died and she needed to make a phone call, I would not hesitate to hand my phone over to her. And I wouldn't be like, well, don't go through the pictures or the text messages and don't look at anything. I don't care. There's nothing in there that I can't stand on. And there's nothing in there that I'm ashamed of. And that's the way that it is. So if somebody else is ashamed of what's on there and they feel like they need to be secretive of what's on there, yeah, that's a major red flag for sure. 100%. What was the peak? 55, 56. Peak viewers tonight has been 56. And I don't think it's going to go up. Sunday night chill stream going to be fire. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Everybody's going to be back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel.
Oh, fuck yeah.
If you're new here, my name is Maya. And in today's video, before I get into it, I dyed my hair. Yes, it is a new era for me. I can feel it energetically. And the blonde had to go. This is my natural hair color. And for me, the past 4 months has been truly a transformative period. I've integrated my true authentic self back inside of my center. So yes, I just wanted to call out the elephant in the room if y'all been here for a little bit. But if you're new here, my name is Maya.
I want to see what her audience is. Thank you, Maya. I've been fighting the urges and trying to find inner peace. Your content has been very helpful for me at this time. Also, love the natural hair color. Please fuck me. Regain and retain. I've been celibate for 14 years and 1 week on semen retention and no porn. I'm proud of myself. 14 years. Proud of you. I'm so glad. Thank you for the comment. A bunch of simps. Let's go, Queen. You know, which is cool. This guy, blonde was definitely better, and 4 days on routine. Good deal. Good for you, bro, to stand up and be like, yeah, blonde was better. All right, anyways.
Yep. And I have become the semen retention queen unintentionally. Y'all,
The semen retention queen. This girl has retained more semen than any woman on the planet. I guess you wouldn't say retained, you would say attained. I unintentionally retained more semen than any other woman in the world this month.
Have you been smoking marijuana?
Good stuff nonetheless.
I did not know that this many men even were doing semen retention. It is so powerful for me to see. You guys are kings and you guys deserve a round of applause. One moment. Don't you ever let anyone tell you that you're weak for doing this, that you're weird. I want you to stay in your power and say, okay.
Wait, why does she say that people would say that you're weak or you're weird for doing this? Like, I don't think anybody, like if I were on a date with a girl and she was like, do you watch porn? And I was like, no. And then she's like, when's the last time you had sex? For me, it wouldn't be that long, but let's say I were like one of these like real long semen retention street guys. And I were like, it's been 472 days since the last time I ejaculated. And that was to internet porn. It's been 792 days since the last ejaculation with a female. Yeah, that'd be kind of weird. But if I were on a date with a girl and it's like, I don't watch porn and I've gone 90 days since my last date. I've been working out, been doing some things. You know, I wanted to take some time away from dating. So I haven't had sex in 90 days. And I don't watch porn. I don't sit around and jerk my willy while I'm watching other dudes fuck on the screen. Because porn, to me, all porn is G-H-E-Y. Gay. Because porn, when you watch it, focuses on the big cock that is sliding in and out of a woman. That is where the camera angle always focuses at. It's like this angle where you watch the big cock penetrating in and out of a woman. And it's you watching a cock fuck a woman. G-H-E-Y. You know, and I'm not here to judge, but that's what I think porn is. And, you know, if you're into that, whatever, you know, I'm not going to get into that. But for me, I've got better things to do with my time. And if I decide, you know what, I don't feel like going out because when I go out, I drink, I eat junk food, you know, this and that, whatever. And so let's say I go 60 days and it's like, I would sure like to beat my meat, but I'm not going to do it. I'm disciplined. I'm not going to do that. I think that's for a knuckle-dragged swine. I think that's for somebody that is less than. I think it's improper, inglorious, and just a complete lack of self-respect to sit around and beat your meat to internet porn. So I don't do it. Now, are people going to say that that's weird? I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think if you're in a setting in a group of people and I think most people would be embarrassed to say that they jerk off to internet porn. They would just keep that to themselves, right? So it's not weird to not do it. It's weird to do it.
Because it doesn't matter what anyone says about this. What matters is you regaining your power, your center, so then you can change your timelines, your future timeline, and you can actually be in control of your life by surrendering control. That's something we're not aware of. We're actually surrendering control, you guys, when we don't fall victim to control. Yeah, because the media controls us.
She's all over the place, isn't she?
Yeah, for real. What's up, LFA? How you doing, man?
Doing good. Good to have you on here. No, yeah, but I understand, like, because when I look at her eyes, I understand, because sometimes when you're looking at the camera and trying to talk, like, you're trying to keep your train of thought, but for some reason things start to pop in your head, like all the trolls in your comment section and all this and that, and it starts to come out a little discombobulated. You know, it's not the way you meant it to come out. So I understand it's hard to keep your train of thought, especially for a chick making a video about semen retention. But it is funny nonetheless. Like, I don't know.
I mean, if she has her bullet points on deck, I don't think it would be that difficult. But it is pretty easy to lose your train of thought, because you could have had something that you wanted to say in your head, and it just doesn't portray itself the same way that you had it envisioned in your head originally.
Right.
She's also making a video on semen retention, so there's like a part of her that has to think it's ridiculous to an extent, you know, because she's like, I'm not retaining any semen, you know. She's probably attaining semen, but I don't know if she's retaining it.
Yeah,
because she doesn't have it, you know. So it's a different experience.
Yeah. But it did sound funny when she said, "I am the semen retention queen." Like, she didn't understand how fucked up that sounds.
That was probably on purpose. I think it was
probably.
Yeah, 100%. Because you got to believe that at this point, you know, you have to say, there are key words, there are key things that people say in videos that they know are going to get a reaction out of people. And I think she knew deep down inside that if she did that, that was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, it's like a Greg Doucette or somebody who's like a bodybuilding channel, and he has like his shirt off in all of his videos. Probably most of the people that watch his videos, No Flamingo, are probably dudes that are flamingos and they like watching him. And so when he, like, if he says something like, "Yeah, I do this workout because I like having a big butt," and then like these dudes in his comment section are like, "Ooh," you know, but he does it on purpose because it's going to get him clicks. And yeah, she's in the same position. Now, me as a hetero man, I don't have that like that option to like get people to simp for me. But if I were her, like, you know, she's cute, she got a good face, good structure, pretty eyes, good eyebrows, everything.
She's very attractive. I think she's attractive.
Yeah. So just talking about semen retention, obviously she's going to get some clicks.
I see. So LFA, I got a potential topic, unless you want to keep playing the video.
Okay, no, we can end it.
All right, cool. So here's my potential topic, right? So we all know about the wall, right? We all know that the wall is something that is apparently undefeated. You know, it just keeps going. When do men hit the wall?
When do men hit the wall?
Yeah. Is there a wall for men, or do men just never hit it? Because I think there is a wall for men, but I want to hear your perspective on this.
Yeah. Well, hold on a second. Okay. He said rope there. Okay. Men hit the wall as soon as they reach a point where they can no longer get better in life. So a man's value is measured in a lot of ways, right? Obviously, looks, physique, and stuff like that matters, but to a much lesser degree. George Clooney can still slay. Leonardo DiCaprio can still slay. You know, no problem. Even if you're not extremely good looking, like if you look at like Dr. Dre just got divorced, guaranteed he's banging 21-year-old Instagram models as we speak. No question. So a man hits the wall when he's no longer productive. Because I don't think men are measured by their looks. I know in the black pill community, they like to focus on that. I think as a proud son of Macedon, I don't believe that a man should measure himself by his looks. I think that's an effeminate way of living. And I think the guys that do that have the world, they see the world through a bizarre lens, and looks do matter. I'm not saying that they don't, but they see the world through a lens of, like it's just a feminine way of seeing the world, of like this prissy, girly way of seeing the world. They're sissy boys, sissy men who think other men who are better looking than me are going to get better results than me. Therefore, I'm insecure about it, and looks matter and all this and that. So I don't think it's a good idea for a man to worry about looks. I think men are builders. We build skyscrapers. We program computers. We build houses. We're plumbers, electricians, police officers, firefighters. And when we have respect in our community, you can be Elon Musk worth billions of dollars. You can be a pastor at a local church that makes $25,000 a year. Whatever it is, if you are a respectable guy in your community and other men count on you because you provide a service to the world, and other men look at you as their equal or even their superior, I think at that point, like as long as you're able to maintain that, you don't hit the wall.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And other women and women will see that as well. At the end of the day, women want to be with a man that is respected by the world. And the reason for that is because a woman is an extension of the man that she's with. So if a woman is dating a guy that is a pussy, that gets his ass kicked everywhere he goes, but he still runs his mouth because he's a dumbass, and he still puts himself in bad situations. Other dudes don't like him. They don't want to be around him. He's just an imbecile. She knows that if she dates him, she's an extension of him. Therefore, other men can walk up to her and smack her ass, disrespect her, sexually harass her, and do whatever they want to do, and nobody is going to be there to defend her. But if she's with a man that other men respect or other men are intimidated by, she's an extension of that. If a dude can kick your ass and you know he's man enough to kick your ass, you're not going to walk up to his girl and call her a bitch or smack her ass or disrespect her. And she knows that if she's with a respectable man, she inherits the respect that he has earned. And that's just a fact that people don't take into consideration. They don't see that part of intersexual dynamics and the role that the man plays versus the role that the woman plays. So as long as you're able to protect and provide, I know people consider that like the beta male side of hypergamy, but it's not just the beta male side. Like if you're literally physically able to protect a woman, she's going to be turned on by you. That's going to be something that actually makes her horny. So, if you're somebody that's able to provide that, even at the age of 65, 70, you can still pull. Hugh Hefner was still able to do that in his own sleazy way, but because he had the Playboy Mansion, because he was the guy that, George Clooney wanted to visit, Puff Daddy wanted to visit, Michael Jordan wanted to visit, Dan Marino and George Bush or whoever, people wanted to stop by the Playboy Mansion, and women knew if they're married to Hugh Hefner, they inherit that.
Okay.
That level of respect.
I like that, actually. You hit some good points there, because I've always felt that, men do face their own version of the wall, but I never thought that it was looks related, because again, men typically don't start seeing any real value until they're older. Like a man that's like 18 to like, I would say like when men hit maybe like 25 and over, you are probably even in the 30s, that's when you really start to see men develop their style, like the way they're going to dress, the way they're going to look. Their finances are more in order. They're not as like socially awkward with women. And, they're just respected in general more by broad society. And when I think insignificance, it's probably where the wall hits for men. It's when you're no longer important. You know, when you can no longer command attention, when people no longer pay attention to who you are as a person, and
Yeah.
you know, becoming invisible and insignificant rather is what I would say, because it's never a looks thing. You know, that's the dichotomy, because with women, it is about looks because it's their primary asset. You know, it's their recourse that they go to.
Yeah.
But like when you stop having the ability to be able to pull attention from other people, when other men stop respecting you, when you're no longer, or if you're like in a career slump and you can't make any more money, those are, I believe, the points where men like really start hitting the wall. So I actually really do like your answers. I feel like that was really well measured. Yeah, no, that was
Yeah.
good. That was good.
You know where the term "the wall" comes from, don't you?
I mean, I in theory I know what it is, but I don't know where, I guess, the manosphere got it from. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it comes from sports. So let's say you have like you know, in the last 10 years, we've seen like Peyton Manning retire, Tom Brady retire, Drew Brees retire, you know, Hall of Fame, elite level quarterbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you could say like a wide receiver like Terrell Owens or something. And they say hitting the wall is a point in their career where they are no longer productive. So they can basically replace them with anybody, or the second string quarterback is better than them. You know, they've reached a point where they are replaceable. So they have hit the wall.
They're basically at that retirement age.
Yeah. So, you know, like 29-year-old Peyton Manning was irreplaceable, right? There's no way that you could replace that guy. He was the best we'd ever seen. But when he was 38, he was replaceable.
In wrestling, there's a different term for that too. It's like when you start staring at lights, you know, like you start taking falls for like the young up and comers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a similar term for like wrestling. I see Hey Yo had a question down there. He says, how do you deal with being a short ass then?
Well, okay. Some of the best ladies men I've ever known were short dudes. And, you know, there was one guy, when I met him, he was like 63. He was a retired police officer, bald-headed Italian guy, worked out all the time. He was buff for his age. He was married, but the relationship that he had with his wife was, he was just in a horny ass Italian dude that wanted to hook up with women all the time. Right. And his wife would catch him cheating all the time. And he was just the type of guy, baby, I'll make it up to you, baby, I'll buy you a new car, whatever. And he would make it up to his wife. So she stayed with him. I mean, they were together for like 40 years and still together today. And he was still to this day is hooking up with women. I guarantee it, because I mean, I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, but in the time I knew him, it was just nonstop. This guy was probably like 5'6", and an older dude. And I can only imagine what he was like when he was in his 20s, but he's still pulling all kinds of women. And it's just because his personality is just, he was just a dominant guy. Like he wanted women and he was going to talk to them. And he's the type of guy that it's like out of nowhere. It's like all the women, you know, when they see him, they're hugging him. It's like they're hugging him goodbye. And you're like, why the fuck why are they all showing him so much attention? Oh, because he puts himself in that position.
He knows how to command attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he talks to all of them. They love him to death. And everybody knows it's like, yeah, he's kind of a horn dog. He kind of hooks up with a lot of women and cheats on his wife, but his wife still loves him and still respects him. And he makes it up to her. So whatever. I mean, I don't tell people how to live their life. But I've known short guys that would absolutely run circles around some guys that are like 6'4".
That's interesting. So what kind of, all right, so what practical advice outside of like you know, I guess putting yourself out there more, like what practical advice would you have for an immutable characteristic like your height? You know, you can't do anything about your height, you can't do anything about your dick size, but what like what would you say? What would you tell like a young man that's being put through the tortures of the damned because, you know, he wants women, but his height seems to be an obstacle for him? Like, what is something that you would suggest that would really, I guess, give them the courage to go out there and get it?
Well, you have to own who you are, for one. You literally, you can make fun of tall people, call them lurch, call them, big clumsy giants, like the way The Rock used to make fun of The Undertaker. Oh, you come out here with your big clumsy, be that guy. Own the fact that you being short has its advantages. You're more coordinated. You probably have better footwork. You're a better soccer player. You're probably a better dancer. There are advantages to being short. And, tall people tend to have bad backs, bad knees, bad ankles. They're slower. It's like if a woman is in bed with a guy that's 7 feet tall, it's, he's just a fucking big mammoth of a person. It's uncomfortable to lay next to that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's disadvantages to being tall and there's advantages to being short. So sure, like if a girl is, talking to guys in Miami, I would say being like 6'1" or 6'2" is probably ideal because, you look, kind of gives you that Giga Chad height, that like right there where you would want to be. But in your day-to-day life, like people get used to each other and the way that you look wears off pretty quickly. The way you look has a massive impact the first time you see somebody or the first time they see you.
Mm-hmm.
But after a couple of months, it really does wear off. Like you start to see flaws in everybody.
No, I agree. I agree with that. That's actually 100% the truth. No matter what you do, the longer you're around people, if you are involved in the same social circle all the time, and these people get used to seeing you, your looks become secondary after a while.
Yeah, and your integrity, your personality, your character, these are the things that start to matter. When you start to realize like, okay, this is a person I can count on. This is a person I can have a deep conversation with. This is a person I can trust. This is a person that just moves with a lot of integrity. This is a person that I value. And then when somebody's like just really good looking, it's like that wears off. And after a while, their looks can be repulsive because you're like, what kind of a grown ass adult leans on looks? Like I've met girls that were like 10s out of 10s, but their personalities were just fucked.
Oh yeah. I mean, I say that about most people. Most people that are like hyper attractive don't ever have to develop real personalities, because they essentially live life on easy mode. So everything is just given to them. Yeah. So I can agree with that. Heyo said, though it's more than looks, I want to be able to protect my girl in my long-term relationship. I mean, look, there's this, I feel like the manosphere gives off a disingenuous reality on what it means to like protect your girl. You're not gonna, on a daily basis, you're not gonna be in a situation where you're like facing down assassins, and you have your girl behind you and you're like, step back, I'll protect you, or some like asshole is gonna like pick on your girl at a bar or something like that. Those are extremely rare cases. But I would say if you do find yourself in those situations, one, I would definitely like hit the gym. I would work out, because even if you're a short guy, there's some short, strong guys out there, man. I'd be at the gym and there's some short dudes that lift sick. Like I'm 6'1", 200 plus pounds. There are some short dudes and thinner dudes at that gym that can lift significantly more than I can. You can definitely put on some muscle power, and people respect that. When you're a man and you're in good shape, other men respect you. Other men look at you as, you finish what you start. You have resolve. You have integrity. You have discipline to be able to do something. Most people don't do that. So I would say that, and have your girl have some pepper spray, like keep it 100. Because I tell my girlfriend this all the time. She would always say, that she wouldn't let somebody bully her around like that. And I always tell her, yeah, well, with all due respect, you're like 5'1", you're a small girl. You're not really somebody that's going to be able to like push somebody around like that. I would tell her, hey, look, pepper spray is one of your best friends. So I would tell you to have your woman have some pepper spray, and you being the man, just be ready to protect her if something does happen. But that's not a situation you're going to be in on a regular basis. So you got to get some of that like manosphere red pill stuff out of your head, because these guys push that way too hard.
Yeah. Well, the thing about protecting your woman, the chances of your woman actually being in like a violent threat in this day and age, if you live in the United States of America, are slim to none. Like, sure, if you live in a really bad, like deep in the hood somewhere, sure, maybe. But even in areas like that, men have codes. Like, you don't, like a Crip or a Blood isn't going to, put hands on a woman because they understand they get shot when they do that. So typically there's codes even in the worst places. Women aren't really threatened physically that often. I mean, it can happen by like some crackhead in an alley, but again, don't put her in that position and you'll be fine. So when people talk about defending women, it's usually more like, maybe she's working a job that has her working from 4 p.m. to 3 a.m. and she gets off work and she has a flat tire. All right. And you're the first person she calls. Are you going to get out of bed and go fix her tire? That's the type of protection.
That's like my girl, definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's modern world protection. So some dudes would be like, I'm fucking sleeping. God, can't you just fucking Uber home or do something? And it's like, no, let's take care of your fucking girl. Like, you're the fucking man. And if you're unable to, protect her in that way, she's not going to feel protected. She's going to feel like women want to be waiting in their car and other dudes, simps that she works with, be like, hey, I can fix your tire. And she wants to be able to say, no, I'm good. My husband's on the way. That's what she wants. That's the feeling of protection that women want. And, modern guys, I don't think they understand that. They're in their heads. And yeah, the manosphere does make guys insecure. It's like, well, that means she wants to be with the man that knows jujitsu and is a well-known cage fighter and a YouTuber with 500,000 subs.
Yeah, I think
otherwise,
I'm sorry. I think okay. I think the modern day Biff. You ever seen Back to the Future? You know who Biff is? Biff was like the bully. Yeah. So I think the modern day Biff would be probably a dude that would try to belittle you in front of your woman. They would just make like little sly comments to make you seem small. Like maybe you're not good rhetorically, and you don't know how to verbally joust with people very well. I think that's the modern way that dudes will sort of kind of try to like bully you in front of your girl. So if you're just stern and you're not about those kid games, and you're like, yo man, I don't play that crap. You know what I mean? And you could just like be firm about that. You should be okay for the most part, because like I said, a lot of it is reputation destruction. Men will do it just the same way women will. Now it's more prevalent with women because it's the only real recourse, because they're physically not able to be as violent the same way men are. But most men that are trying to be sly, that are trying to like get in there and talk to your shorty, they'll do it by trying to like downplay who you are. They'll make jokes about you, or they'll try to be the loudest and funniest guy in the room. And there's sly ways people try to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, in that situation, it's important to be, you want to be aware of those situations, and you do want to be clever and witty. Like that, the best features that you can have as a man is just being witty. If you're able to verbally defend yourself in a way that makes other people like, okay, I better not belittle this guy because he's fucking quick. And I'm the one that's going to get belittled if I keep trying this. And that's only in a situation where the guy is like a bully. Obviously you don't have to always be one-upping people, but you just have to be aware that some people are. And, you do want to be able to defend yourself in those situations.
Oh yeah.
And, in a proper manner, just to be able to shut it down, because there is an element of like social dominance that takes an effect, and especially when there's women around. And the guy that is more socially dominant is the guy that's going to probably garner the most attention.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I have that issue sometimes where it's such a first world problem. It's a good kind of problem I have, but I notice that when I'm in a social scenario, I tend to be the guy that like people gravitate to the most. And I'll visibly see it too. Like I'll see these dudes get upset, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not even trying to like holler at their girl or anything like that. It's just like, no, people just like talking to me,
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between letting it happen naturally. Like if that's just who you are, like I'm that way too. When I'm out, I like to talk. I like to socialize. I'm not trying to hook up with every girl that I fucking see, but I will acknowledge women, men, everybody. So, you know, we may be having conversations and talking, but I have integrity. I'm not going to sleep with my friend's girlfriend. I'm not going to, you know, start fights with random dudes at the bar or like whatever. I'm just going to be, I'm going to do my best to be a pleasant person. And sure, some women will be attracted to that, but men shouldn't be jealous of other men for something like that. Like that's not a slight against you. Like, because at the end of the day, you're going to have, like, you want to have a tribe, a group of friends where there's other men around that have your back, you have theirs, and there's women around. And yeah, some of those guys are going to be better looking than you. Some of those guys might have better charisma than you or make more money than you or what. Like nobody has it all, right? Maybe we're all good at certain things or whatever. But the last thing that you want to do is be like measuring yourself against other guys, because there's going to be things that they're better than you at and, you know, whatever. And you don't want to be the guy that's like, well, this guy's fucking handsome, therefore he gets a lot of attention from women, so fuck this guy. And I got to keep my girlfriend away from this guy and just be jealous all the time. You know, you don't want to be that guy. You want to be comfortable with, sometimes people can be better than you or they get more attention than you. That's okay. You know,
yeah, you got to be able to be, you have to be willing to just listen sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
I think always trying to be like the main character of the story at that moment doesn't always play in your favor. I think
Right.
it's important for guys to realize that sometimes the best thing you can do is have a little stoicism and just be quiet and listen to people talk.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you know, you can respond after that. You know, you could have, so sometimes when you say less, it means more, you know, because
Right.
you don't say it so often. So people have more of an open ear, so to speak, when you are at that point. And to who said this? Jeff. He said that you had to be able to fight. I do agree with that. It is important for men to know how to fight again, but it's something that it's not going to be as common as you think it will. You know, like I grew up in the Bronx, right? So I was always watching my back because I grew up in the hood. It was a bad area. I got jumped on my own neighborhood when I was like 14. You know, that sort of opened my eyes and made me self-aware of like everything that's happening around me.
Yeah.
So learning to defend yourself is certainly important. But again, for the most part, if you do have a woman, somebody that you care about, or someone you met on Tinder or whatever, and you're taking them out on a date, it's wise to not put them and yourself in situations where those things will happen. You know, you can always take them to places that have low risks, and in those situations, you will like mitigate the chances of something bad potentially happening.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. LFA, what's your resolution if you have one?
New Year's resolution?
Yeah.
I don't set them.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there's something that needs changed, it changes right then and there. Like I could set a resolution like I'm not going to drink anymore, but that's not a resolution that I want to set. I don't have a drinking problem. You know, I buy a 6-pack and it lasts me 2 weeks.
As you grab the next beer when you go to a commercial break.
I'm out. I'm out. It was yeah.
What were you drinking? I got Golden Monkey. That's what I'm rocking with tonight.
I had Pacificos. No, yeah, I only had 2 more. I bought them like Sunday or something. Like I had to drink a couple during each stream.
Yeah. No, I've kind of gotten into that habit too. Like when I hop on your stream, I'll just like crack one open.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, I'm meeting up with friends too, so it's not like I'm gonna go to do karaoke after this because you know that's my thing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that in like within the next hour, you know.
Yeah.
But I did want to hop on here and chat for a bit, man. I see that it's a little slow tonight. I think also maybe if you would have announced it, probably more people might have shown up because I didn't know. Man. I didn't know. I was literally on my phone and I just saw you like pop up, so I was like, oh snap, LFA's got a show tonight.
Yeah. I wasn't really planning on it, but I did. And there's a lot of people that send me messages and say like to let them know when I'm going live. And I sent it out to quite a few people, but nobody.
Thanks for that. PNK says this conversation right now is more valuable than most of the shit the Manosphere talks about. I agree, man. I think sometimes people need like practical information. Oh, we got a mask. Who's this?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? Good evening. What's going on, LFA?
What's going on, Dylan?
What's up?
Hey, okay. Can you remind me your name?
Neo.
Neo. Hey, Okay. And before I say anything, I just wanted to first say there's two reasons why I'm calling in. And reason number one is because I enjoy it. Like, I genuinely think this is fun. Love the show LFA, and I'm still kind of figuring out how to contribute when I call in.
Have you
And
been smoking marijuana?
no, I'm just nervous. And the second reason is yeah, because this terrifies me. And I guess one thing I want to say is to the audience, to all the men out there in particular, do something every day that scares you, even if it's something small. And for me, this is going to be it. Do something every day that scares you.
I don't know, man. I think if I just sit around and be a sissy all the time, it'll be a stress-free life.
Yeah.
No, doing something that scares you. I agree with that.
No, yeah, I agree. You're right.
Yeah, so that's part of the reason why I called in. I will say this is probably my third or fourth time calling in, but each time I do it, I'm a little bit better at it. I did have a thought about, someone asked a question earlier about what are some red flags to look out for when you cold approach a woman, and I have some thoughts that I'd like to share, and then maybe LFA, maybe you can tell me what you think about them. It's up to you.
Okay.
All right. So the thought I had was, there's a couple of superficial, like instant visual red flags that you might notice if you cold approach a woman, and these are the red flags that you'll see that pop up on you'll see them pop up on like other red pill content creators, like books, things like the tattoos or the dyed hair. Now it's not to say that a woman with like neon pink hair is instantly going to be like a basket case. A woman could have dyed hair and be totally cool. She can be totally fine. But there are a couple things to just like, you just have to keep in mind, like what is the likelihood that something might pop up down the road if I were to exchange numbers with this woman and start talking to her. But this is the point I wanted to make. When you cold approach a woman, you want to try to figure out, is this woman open or closed? And what I mean by that is, say that you go out to a bar or a club, or even during the day, like say that you walk up to a woman in like Target or Whole Foods or something like that. Doesn't matter. There's going to be women who go out and some of them don't want to be approached at all. Maybe they're already in a relationship. Maybe they just don't want to talk to anyone, let alone men. And then there's women who they're like dying. They're waiting for a man to come up and talk to them. They get all dressed up. They get all dressed up. They put on their makeup. They do their hair. There's a reason why they're doing that. And there's women that are just waiting for a man to finally have the balls to go up and talk to them. And it's like, you want to figure out, you want to try to find out early when you go and talk to her. You want to try to figure out, is this flower open or is it closed, right? Because like the bumblebees are only going to land on the open flowers, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't think it takes long for somebody to realize if they're attracted to you or if there's any type of chemistry there. There's been plenty of situations where I'll meet women that are like very attractive women and we hit it off and they just seem so friendly and so open, and it's because they're attracted to me and I'm attracted to them. And it just naturally works. And then there's other women, regardless of what they look like, maybe they're good looking, or maybe she's like a 5 out of 10 and she's a total bitch to me. Like there's no chemistry there. She fucking hates me. And me talking to her is a complete waste of time. Or maybe she's good looking and she's a bitch to me and it's a complete waste of time. So I think what it comes down to, I think people kind of naturally know what type of chemistry they're going to have with people just based off the first interaction, the first few seconds. It's kind of like, is this a person that is going to be a good fit for me? Yes or no? And it's very easy to tell. I don't think it takes human beings that long to figure that out. Now, yeah, people can grow on you as time goes on. Like maybe you're not very attracted to somebody, but after you get to know them, you are. Like somebody you work with that you see every day. That can happen. But generally, and in like a scene like Cold Approach, maybe you're in Miami or Las Vegas or somewhere like that, and it's people that you're probably never going to see again, then yeah, people have these split decisions. And I think it's a waste of time for you to try to chip away and use some pickup artist tactic on a woman that's just not reciprocating with you. There's too many people out there. If she's open and like instantly just the look in her eyes is a look of, yeah, she is clearly happy that I'm talking to her, then that's good. That's, that's a green light, a good indication, a green flag. And if you're not getting that sort of reciprocation, then yeah, just move on. There's no point. Life's too short for that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. Can I just interject briefly? Dylan's your name, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Dylan. So 100%, I would just do something difficult, right? Like you said, going up to a woman is difficult. Sometimes you might be scared, or not necessarily scared, but you don't want the rejection. I think one of the issues that often happens too is that, and this is something that the manosphere preaches all the time, but I don't necessarily agree with this. I don't think limiting your dating pool is the best thing to do. Like if a girl has like pink hair or she has tattoos, so what? You know what I mean? Like if you're looking for a long-term relationship, then yeah, you might want to go after somebody different. But I don't think there's anything wrong, especially if you want to just hook up or just like put yourself in different circles. Limiting your dating pool is probably one of the worst things you can do. To LFA's point as well, eye contact I think is one of the more important things, because typically when someone is not interested in you, they won't look towards your direction. They'll look towards their safety nets. They might have their homegirls with them, or they might have like another guy that they came with. So they'll be doing the whole like deer in the headlights kind of look. But if they actually like maintain eye contact with you, don't look down. I think it's important just to engage and just be in that world. But also, don't go too crazy. Just have a conversation with them as if you were talking to your boys. Because I think people try to oversell themselves sometimes, and it starts small before it grows.
Yeah. Hey, that's really all I wanted to do and call in and say.
Yeah, I'll elaborate on the red flag things as well. I forgot you mentioned the red flags because you kind of went off on a different deal about the Cold Approach and all that. But yeah, all of these guys, these manosphere guys that tell you like never date a woman with tattoos, never date a woman with like a nose ring, or they come up with these like weird things, or colored hair or whatever. That's so fucking ridiculous. Like if I were to follow that rule, the amount of women that I've hooked up with would be shrunken down to like 90% of the women that I've dated would be eliminated. The girl that I was with for 10 years had a nose ring, and I think she had like 1 or 2 tattoos. Nothing major, but that would disqualify her from red pillars to thinking she's worthy. I've dated girls with tongue rings are obvious indicators of being a whore. Like, I think that's like the reason why they get it, but I've still dated them. I've dated girls with tramp stamps on their lower back, all sorts of shit. And I don't notice a difference. Like, sure, if a girl has no tattoos and no piercings, she's probably very square and very, like she's not open to trying new things, which is a good thing because she's pure and she's probably not going to cheat on you. And, that's the sort of life she has. But some men want a more open-minded woman. Some dudes are into open relationships and they want to take their wife to a swingers party, like different strokes for different folks. So I don't tell people how to live their life. So, whatever is a good fit for you, that's what you should go with. Like if you're in a band and you're a skateboarder and you're tatted from head to toe, you should probably date a girl with tattoos. She's a good fit for you. you know?
Well said.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna hop off now. I'm gonna go train some jujitsu.
Okay, buddy.
But I just want to say to everyone who's listening, if you're just watching and you're considering calling in, and you're scared to do it, come on in. The water's fine. It's don't be scared. And
yeah.
Yeah, guys, it's pretty cool that like anyone can just call in. Like, I didn't think at first I'd be able to just call in and instantly get on, but here I am. So,
Yep.
All right, LFA, thanks, man. Have a good one.
Yes, sir, buddy. Have a good one.
Have a good one, man. Yeah, I agree, man. I think just call in, man. I remember the first time LFA I called in. I was prepping for a live stream that I was gonna do.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, man? LFA seems to talk to the people. Let me get on board and see what's going on, man. And I've been calling in ever since.
Yeah. We have a pretty steady group that usually calls in. They like to call in every time. But the reason why, like, I know people like, okay, if we have like Neo, Raging Tomato, Carrie, and William V. Taper on, most people aren't going to call in because they're going to be like, okay, this is like a veteran group that calls in all the time. So they're going to think they're going to feel like they can't jump into the conversation. It's too much for them. But that's why I like to have that 1 hour window where it's like new callers with new issues. They don't even have to show their face. They can call in. And a lot of times after they call in a couple of times, they actually want to call in and be on a panel.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. This is actually great. I like it because sometimes this world, I guess this is like a substrat of the manosphere. I don't really consider this like manosphere content specifically because we're not going in as extremely as they are. We're just this I consider like just self-improvement talk basically, and with some jokes here and there. But I think this is really good too because it also made me more confident because like I've been streaming for years, but I was always like streaming like video games on Twitch, and I wanted to get into like more serious content. And when I started calling in here, it kind of gave me the courage to like push a little further, even though I was already like starting a podcast. It made me go in more. Like I'm gonna start doing like some more reaction videos and whatnot. I think this is a good way to get like your foot in the door as well. You know what I mean? Because you're accessible. You don't put us behind a paywall to like talk to you. It's like if you call Fresh and Fit, you got to pay them like $50 so that they can like tell you to fuck off for like 10 minutes, and then they put it on their video. Yeah, I mean, no, like shade on them. Like I have no beef with them. I like some of their content, but I do notice that a lot of the Manispherians, a lot of them do put paywalls. Just to even talk to them, you know what I mean? And I don't really think that makes you a man of the people, personally. You claim to like help men all the time, so it's like, all right.
Yeah, well, but I understand at their level because imagine when you have like 10,000 people, or some of their videos have like 20,000 people watching at once.
I agree.
So let's say you have 20,000 people watching at once and you open up the lines. So let's say you have like 3,000 people trying to call in at once.
No, that I can understand. I can understand that, but I think there should be like at least a day, right? Where like or not even a day, maybe just a couple hours. Like I think MLD does that, right? He just has people just call in and just talk to him. What I mean? Because I do get that you have to vet people as well, because when you're on a larger level, the game just changes basically. Like I totally get that.
Well,
but I don't know.
Well, but the thing is, so if you have like 3,000 people trying to call in, and realistically, you're only going to be able to get to 15 of them. You got to find a way to lower that number. So if you charge people, let's say you charge $10 at $10 and they can call in, then that narrows it down from 1,500 to 600. And then you say, okay, maybe $10 wasn't a high enough number. You raise it up to $50. And that knocks it down to 35 people. And then you're like, okay, we need to get this down to 15 because we can't get to 35 people. So that's when you knock it up to like $100. And it's like, okay, we have an average of 15 people trying to call in at $100. And, at that point, like that's the smart move. Like that's just the move they have to make. Otherwise it's like either we take no calls or we charge $100. That's the only two options we have at that point, right?
No, I look, I'm not against like monetizing your audience. I totally get that, man. You know, if you can make that money and people are going to pay to call in to talk to you, that's fine. But there
Yeah.
are times where I feel that not Fresh and Fit specifically, but I have seen this where like people will call into a show that they paid for and they'll have like a genuine critique and just get shat on the whole time. You know, and granted, I get it. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Yeah, like yada yada. But it was something with like, you know, the late great Kevin Samuels, right? This was always like a contention I had with his show, is that you know, he did a really good job of breaking down like the bull, right? But there would be times where some women would have like some decent points and he'd be like, no, you're not gonna talk over me. It'd be the whole like the silencing culture, you know, it's sort of, they'll hit you with the mute button or they'll just kick you out. And you know, it's like if somebody has a valid criticism, I think it's better content if you just like listen to it, because unless you're afraid of getting exposed as a fraud or something like that, which you know, I'm not necessarily saying that's what they are. But I do think it's a bad look when someone gives you constructive criticism with some merit and you just completely crap on them.
Yeah, but it's kind of the nature of the show. It's kind of like Simon Cowell used to be on American Idol. You know, you don't watch the show for Simon Cowell to be like, that was great, I really loved that. You watch it for him to, no matter how good the person is, he's supposed to say, you have a lot of weaknesses, a lot of weaknesses, and I'm not sure if you're ready. As a matter of fact, you're not ready. You're not good enough. You know, and people are like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. And that's what people want to see. And that's the same thing as Kevin Samuels. And yeah, on Fresh and Fit or Kevin Samuels, a lot of times women do sneak on there and you think she's really dumb, but she's not. And she goes on there and she's actually really fucking witty and really fucking smart and can hold her own. And there are a lot of holes that you can poke in a lot of red pill speech. If you put a red pill debater on a level playing field, or even a playing field where the opponent has the edge, or even just a level playing field, we'll say, a lot of times red pillars get shat on. They lose the debates hard. And that's just the truth. So yeah, you have to go into damage control when somebody does they slide through and you're like, they were deceptively better debaters than you thought they were. So you kind of have to, you know, to keep the frame of the show. It's like, you're talking over me. Look, bitch, we bring you on the show and you're talking over me like a dumb bitch would do. And look, the audience isn't smart usually. Like, I mean, some of them are smart enough, but the smart people are just watching like this is entertaining. I don't care. But a lot of people watching are actually really stupid, genuinely stupid guys. So when they're like, oh, fuck yeah, look at him fucking dominating that girl. Yeah, he called her a dumb bitch. Yeah, call her a bitch again. Yeah, kick her off, you know, and that's kind of what they're watching for. But they're not intellectually talented enough to realize that, okay, the girl really made some good points.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you know. And again, look, there's no hate. I like watching these shows, you know, like there'll be times where I'm taking a walk and I'll listen to Fresh and Fit or I'll listen to Rolo. Like, dude, there was a point where I was listening to nothing but like red pill content, you know, like when I first got into it. So I do like listening to this stuff, but I think it's more exciting when, and if anything, look, I think it's more exciting when they do bring up good points, because it gives them the opportunity to show all their training. You know, it's like all this frame that you're holding, all these talking points that you've like researched, all these like quote unquote facts. If you're really about your metal, you know, if you really want to test your metal, then you battle these people back. You don't just silence them, you know. And I personally think that would make for more entertaining content. But I can understand the damage control, because they also have a brand, and you know, if they got shot on too much, then their own fans aren't going to start taking them seriously anymore, and then they'll start supporting them. So I can get that.
I do think Myron does a really good job, like in terms of maintaining that like Punisher image, and he does a very good job. He's a good communicator. I'll give him that. He's an excellent communicator, and maybe not on like Andrew Tate's level, but he's definitely an excellent communicator, and he can win those debates, especially if you give him a microphone that overpowers the microphone that the other people are on, and you give him a little bit of control over muting their mics or whatever. Like he's going to dominate it. And it's his show. He's built the platform. So
no, I get that.
like,
No, don't get me wrong. I actually think Myron is probably one of the better like rhetorical communicators in the Red Pill. I think he actually does a better job than Rolo personally. And then you got Michael Sartain. He's also really good too, but he doesn't really consider himself like a Red Pillar.
Yeah.
But there's some good talkers there, yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I would just like to see it, you know, because even Myron, I've seen him get backed into a corner and not take it well, you know. He
had a really hard time in the Brittany Renner one. Did you watch when they went on?
I didn't see that one. The one that I saw that I think he had a hard time with was with that like OnlyFans lawyer chick, Joffrey, whatever the hell her name is. I don't know. You know who she is? I think because he had Sterling, he had Rolo and Sartain on, and she brought up some good points, and she's also rhetorically quick. You know what I mean? And I felt that Myron didn't perform his best there, only because, you know, he kept just trying to like change the subject or insert like random point, right, when he couldn't like actually refute what she was saying. And yeah, I think he performed poorly there personally, but you know, that doesn't mean that he's not good at what he does in general. I still think he's pretty good at what he does.
No, yeah, he's great at what he does, but he understands. He's smart enough to know that there are times when when the debate's going not in the way that he wants it to go. So he has to, he has to find ways to maintain the show. And I'm sure it's frustrating to women on the show. They're like, they want to win the argument, but he's not going to let it happen because, you know, he's going to turn it into a fight and maybe kick him off or whatever. But that's part of his show. That's part of the brand. They are, at the end of the day, he is working. That's his job, you know, and his job is to maintain a certain character frame. And even, you know, it's kind of like wrestling, you know, it's like the bad guys in wrestling. Sure. When they're losing a match to the good guy and the good guy's winning fair and square, your partner comes in and hits the other guy with a chair, or, you know, you do something because the bad guy is supposed to cheat to win. That's part of being the bad guy. And Myron is the bad guy. That's the rule.
I mean, according to who, you know, it depends. Because to his audience, he's the good guy, right? So
they root for the bad guy. They don't want the good guy would be like, you know, some kind-hearted Christian blue, like Ruslan or somebody that goes on there. Like that's a baby face, a good guy in the space. Like the Red Pill takes pride in like, yeah, women love evil men. Women love serial killers and alpha males that cheat on them and beat them. They take pride in being the bad guy for sure. I think.
Oh yeah. The bad guy always gets more attention. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's a certain charisma element to the bad guy. Like Andrew Tate is the bad guy, but he has enough charisma to where it's like, like Stone Cold or The Rock back in the days, they played bad guys, but the charisma was so good that the fans liked them.
Oh, and I've always been a fan of the heels. I've always rooted for the heels.
And that's the same thing you have in the Red Pill, especially now when people are really showing their personalities. Yeah, but Myron is smart enough to know that it's like, yeah, if some perceived bimbo is beating me in a debate, it's time to, you know, have the partner come in with a steel chair, or at least let's have some sound effects. Bomba clot.
Stupid.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, you know what? Those are actually techniques too. Those are a way to like derail them, because like if a girl like in her headphones just randomly hears, so she's like stupid. You know, it's gonna have like a psychological effect on them, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, wait a second, am I making sense right now?"
Or she's gonna get frustrated and start to, you know, start shit talking instead of making her point, which is another deflection tactic. But but they run a show. And here's the thing. If you went on Howard Stern 20 years ago and he had beef with you, he's not going to give you a fair chance to win the argument. He's got the loudest mic. They're going to shut you up. They're going to corner you in a conversation where they know that you're defenseless and you can't win. But when you have your own show, you have the ability to do that. When you have the producers on your side and you have all that, you've built that platform, and you, rightfully so, right?
No, I get it. Hey, look, I actually appreciate what they've done personally. It was funny. I'm gonna head out in a second, but I have a really quick story
Okay.
for you. So when I was dating my ex, right, I just bought my first car, and you know how sometimes when you have something like playing from your phone that's like playing on your car, it'll like say the name of it. So I was listening to like a Fresh and Fit episode, and she came in the car and she saw the title. She was like, "What's Fresh and Fit?" And right away, I was like, I don't think you'd like them. She goes, "Why not?" So I kind of gave her like the spiel, like the Reader's Digest of what Fresh and Fit is, and she's like, "Oh, they sound like misogynists." And I was like, I mean, you can call them that, but they have like valid points. And, you know, I guess I was like trying to justify like their existence. But I just thought that was really funny because, you know, you don't really share this stuff with like women you're dating because, you know, it's never like a good look. You know, it always makes you look like you're supporting like these like evil men or whatever. And I don't know. I think it's dumb personally, but I just thought that was really funny because she just saw the title and I heard the words come out of her mouth and I'm like, yeah, I got to do some damage control right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's one of those things. It's just like a racial issue or like a social justice issue or something like that. People are going to be divided and they're going to be on different sides. So if they hear something that's presented to them in a way that goes against their way of thinking, they're going to view it as hateful. And it's always going to be that way because everybody has their own different side. And we have a weird time period right now where men and women seem to be on the different sides for some reason. And I don't think it's a good idea to speak to women from the position of like a male feminist, like an ally. I think that's weak and they don't respect that.
Oh, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
No, believe it or not, I learned a lot of game from like early red pill stuff, you know, like before it got extreme. But I remember I told myself, hey man, like I actually got some pretty good points from them. And you know, I never really had that much problem getting women when I was younger. I had a little bit, you know, like anybody did, right? Anybody at a young age. But I remember using not necessarily their talking points, but just like the maintaining of the frame, you know, and just like not being afraid to speak up for yourself. The self-improvement things that the manosphere actually was pretty good at spewing back in the day. Those things were actually really helpful, man. And I think if you just take the good and you like reject the cancerous parts of it, then you know it still has value. I don't think it's ever gonna like fully be bad. In any case, LFA, I gotta head out of here, man. I gotta meet up with my friends. Thanks for the chat, like always, man. It was always good talking to you. If you're gonna be on for a while, I'll have you on in the background while I take my walk.
Okay, I'm probably gonna end it here soon.
All right, no doubt, man. All right, everybody, get them likes up. You know the deal. What?
Damn right.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, take care,
See you
man.
next time. Subscribe to Neo Starling's channel as well.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the plug. Holla at y'all.
All right, peace. All right. Looks like we don't have that many people in the chat anymore. Everybody's kind of disappearing. We're 3.5 hours in, so I guess we'll go ahead and end this one. But we will be live again on Sunday. So Sunday, I will see you guys 6 p.m. Central. That is 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. Pacific. We'll be live as usual. But guys, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and end this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope this video was somewhat informative. That's about it for tonight, guys. Till next time, see ya.